Hello! I nearly got the luxury of starting the stream with a guru meditation, but it went off. It just started booting instead. I had a guru meditation. I closed down Hippo Player and it just completely blew the Amiga up. Let's not do that again. How is everyone? The Amiga is back. I wanted to start with the. It's not called guru meditation anymore, is it? It's called the software failure. Is it hardware failure? Software failure it's called, isn't it? But yeah, totally just crashed on me. Maybe I could get it to do it again, actually. I think. What did I do to do that? I just got Hippo Player to really go wrong. Let's just see if I can crash it again. I added one song. Let's put one song on. Let's put Space Debris on for now. And then what did I do? I deleted it. And then paused it. And then quit. It's alright now. I don't know what happened there before. But Hippo Player was having a bad day. That's what I do know. Never understood why it's called Guru Meditation. There is it's from a video game. It's called Guru Meditation because didn't the Amiga company, before they did Amiga, they made, maybe it's nothing to do with the game they made, but they were a joystick company. They made a joystick, didn't they? And there was some kind of balance board or something. Some kind of balance board, and there was like a surfing game on it. And if you could balance the board like perfectly, it was a bit like the Wii balance board. There was a game where if you balanced the board perfectly, the stunt was called like Guru Meditation or something like that. So one of the Amiga designers decided he liked that, and he called it Guru Meditation. So it used to say Guru Meditation, but they changed it to software failure because no one knows what a Guru Meditation is. It's just really funny how that kind of stuff ended up in the hardware. But there you go, Guru Meditation. That's the story. There is somebody online telling the story about that, about how the Guru Meditation came about. It's something about the as well as like the rate at which that red box flashes is also significant to something on Unix or something like that as well. It's very crazy. Right, what I do need is, let's get the rest. I've downloaded a bunch of mods. It's all from the Acid Jazz section. So we'll see what we get. We're going to get some Acid Jazz, I'm afraid. If you don't like Acid Jazz, then... Well, a lot of it didn't sound a lot like Acid Jazz to me, but whatever. Let's get it off the... Let's get it off the disc. There you go, I've called it Acid Jazz. We'll see what it's like. One of them was definitely the Starsky and Hutch tune, but not complete. Copy this stuff over. Onto the silent hard disk. Getting 11 megabytes of RAM for the 1200. Are you? 11 megabytes? That seems a very strange number. That's a very strange number. Is it a strange number? Yeah, well mine's got... I think mine's technically got 10 in it. But how do you get to 11? How did you get to 11? Is it like the Spinal Tap thing? Like this one just goes up to 11, man. Oh, okay. On Retro Passion. So have you bought... Is that 11 megabytes including the chip RAM? Or is it an 11 megabyte upgrade? It's just a very weird number. I know you can have as much memory as you want, but it seems like a really odd number. A very odd number. Right, let's get the Acid Jazz on. Ooh, losing the Lemmings disc here, hang on. Where are you, Acid Jazz? There you are. I think there is one song that's not Acid Jazz. There you go. Dave just bought an Amiga 600 to go in my 1200. Brilliant. Yes, brilliant. You can sit them next to each other. I've got to be fair, I'm not using my Amiga 600 very much, but I do really like it. I love the way when you get it on the desk, it's so tiny. I think it's good that you can get a hard disk in there as well, so you could use it for a lot of stuff. Oh, so you've got a 2 megabyte Amiga 1200 with an extra 11 megabytes. That is a very odd number of megabytes, but whatever. You can put as much as you want in. And you got 3.2.2 ROMs. Nice. So is your Amiga 600 all? Is it all functional, or is it all just busted? Does it need a recap? Jazz Club. Nice. Jazz Club. Let's get the stuff on. The Hipposcope. Getting the Hipposcope on. Alice Jones, thanks for streaming. Such a chill stream vibe to after a long day at work. Oh, you've been working today? Well, that's unfortunate. Well, it would be if you're in the UK, because it's a very nice day to not be at work. I went the opposite. I had a 600, then went 1200, even though I also have a CD32. Well, they're all good. I don't use my 600 enough. I should unpack the 600. I bet this game Lemmings works better on it. It might not have that corrupted music on the 600. I'm not sure though. On my 1200, can I put 4.1 OS on my Amiga? Is 4.1 OS... I don't know what 4.1 is. Is it some kind of PowerPC thing? Someone would have to tell me. I'm not sure what 4.1 is. I think it's some kind of post-Commodore PowerPC nonsense or something, or I don't know. 11 megabytes isn't plausible. Byte-wise, it wouldn't work. I don't know. I mean, I would have thought you could put any number of megabytes in you want. It just seems really odd to have 11. But then again, Spinal Tap did go up to 11, so who's to say? And they did actually make those Marshalls that are in Spinal Tap, the ones that go up to 11. They did actually manufacture those. I think because of the movie. Or maybe they did it for the movie as a joke and then thought, right, let's actually make these. Well, at least that's what somebody told me anyway. I'm not sure. You'd have to check that one, but might need a recap, but bought an extra 1 megabyte of memory, fully working now. Yeah, I think if it hasn't been recapped, it will need a recap because it's just exactly the same as the 1200. In fact, the Amiga 600s are a year older, aren't they? So, but they have the same caps and they're rubbish. And yeah, you need that extra 1 megabyte, I think. My Amiga from back in the day, my own personal one, did have one. I've got two actually. There's a 1 megabyte expansion for the trapdoor, and it totally doesn't work anymore. It's got 4 sims on it, I think, and they just don't work. And I got another Amiga 600, I think, that I bought off eBay, and that also had a broken 1 megabyte expansion. So I just got a modern one from Amiga Kit, and that works fine. The final edition. Yeah, I don't know what the final edition is. Although I don't need one, I'm tempted to get an A500 because, you know, completion. Yeah, that's the thing. I've got an Amiga 500 as well, and I hardly ever use it. It's because it's the most beloved Amiga. It's the most memorable Amiga, and I had one back in the day. But it's also the least functional in today's Amiga, I suppose, in today's Amigas. I think if you're going to get one, make sure, just keep it at Kickstart 1.3 and with 1 megabyte of RAM or whatever. Just keep it quite basic so that you've got something old if something doesn't work on it. Did have that day when we had a stream and that demo would not work on anything but the Amiga 500, which was crazy because it was a modern demo. But yeah, the Amiga 500, I think nowadays, for me, doesn't get as much... Well, I can't see me using it, even though, like I said, back in the day, I used it a lot. Although I did replace it with a 600 eventually. Just because it's bigger, it's heftier, it's got less memory, doesn't support internal hard drives. And what else? Doesn't even have a colour video out, I think. Composite out. But it's still, you know, you could play Lemmings on it if we wanted to. It'd take apart my desk, but it would work. Yet I've been A Glasgow tour guide for a conference of French speakers from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. Only an hour break. That sounds illegal. That sounds illegal. A Glasgow tour guide for a conference of French speakers. It's just like, what's weird? Yeah. So that is French speakers touring Glasgow. Weird. And they tour Glasgow and you tell them what the sites are in French. Is that how that works? I need to know more. This one's very strange. This is very laid back. Jazz one. Be faster and can use a bigger drive. Got to be 1200. Yep. The 1200 actually, the Amiga 1200. I think back in the day I wanted one. I thought, the Amiga 1200 looks so cool. 256 colours and all this kind of stuff. Double speed CPU. It's probably even faster than that because of the caching. And it's all nice and compact. But realistically, it's just so incompatible with games. It's really unfortunate. It's quite incompatible. It is nicer to have a bit of extra speed when you're in Workbench. I am using the Amiga 1200 the most nowadays, got to admit. But the incompatibility is unfortunate. Even though they've gone out of their way to make it really compatible, there was just a lot of software that was programmed with taking advantage of undefined behaviour and stuff like that. So it's quite unfortunate. In French, yeah, so your breaks are included with your meals and drinks, and then the French speakers want you to talk to them. I should say only an hour to myself. Okay, right. Well, that's very strange. The fact that you did that and the fact that French speakers want to come to Glasgow, it's just blown my mind. Absolutely blown my mind. It's Garden Maven, who says hi. Been in the garden today, Garden Maven. Bet you have. 100% guarantee that people have been in their gardens today. Yep, there you go. 100% gardening. It just amazes me that they're still amazed about the French Glasgow thing. In fact, I was going to say Lemmings is a Scottish game, isn't it? But it's not a Glaswegian game. Did you see the thumbnail, by the way, of Stewart Cheifet from Computer Chronicles with the Lemmings box in his hand? I could not believe it. We're talking about Computer Chronicles every week a little bit. I do anyway. And I said I'd been watching up to 1991, and I got off the thing last week, and then watched the next episode, and there he was, and he got Lemmings out. He says Lemmings is out for the PC. It's really good. It was on the Amiga. I really love this game. Or whatever. He didn't quite say that, but you get the idea. Oh, Dundee, Edinburgh. Is that the Lemmings is Dundee, Edinburgh? That was the place to be. Just Googling it. There actually is an 11 megabyte RAM expansion. Well, you know, like I said, it's the Amiga. I don't think there's any hard and fast rule that the RAM expansion has to be a certain size. Because normally they'd be... I don't know why RAM expansions... Normally they'd be a certain size just to... Because they end up being that size. But I think you can just jam anything you can get in the Amiga. It supports up to a 20... Is it 24-bit address bus? So... But apart from that, I don't know. Dundee for Lemmings, then they moved to Edinburgh for Light Projects. Isn't there a statue of a lemming in Dundee then, or something? They've got an actual bronze lemming statue, haven't they? I have my Amiga up to 13 megabytes. Well, that's 2 more than Spinal Tap ever got, isn't it? That's 2 more than Spinal Tap. If anyone's not seen Spinal Tap, none of this makes any sense to you. Of course, they would make GTA 3 a few years later. Yeah. Are they already made? When did they make GTA 1? Oh, GTA 1 was that them that did GTA 1 or not? I can't remember. Great movie. Yeah. If anybody's not seen Spinal Tap by now, I mean, what are you playing at, really? This is Spinal Tap, is it called? And also, if you haven't seen it, you should watch the trailer for Spinal Tap, which will be on YouTube somewhere. Because I think they did a few, but one of them's the cheese rolling competition. It just makes no sense. It's brilliant. What is mine? My Amiga, it's got an 8 megabyte fast RAM expansion in the bottom. but it's downgraded to 4 megabytes because it conflicts with the PCMCAA card, which I do use. I've just used it before, so it's just got 4 extra. Haven't actually found any use for 8 megabytes of RAM yet. I think that is another thing you've got to realise, is that you're putting 13 megabytes in, but what are you going to do with the 13 megabytes? I mean, seriously, what are you going to do with that memory? I would have been alright with the 2 megabytes if it wasn't for the fact that I was trying to play some of these mods and they were just running out of memory. I mean, the memory's up there now, isn't it? There you go. So I've used nearly a couple of megabytes just doing this stuff. No, you can't see that. It was too small. There, I'll show you again. There's my memory. So it's 2 point. So I've got that as a 4 megabyte expansion, and there's 2.5 meg free, and it's only used 300k of chip RAM, roughly. Oh, no, even less. 250k of chip RAM. It's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Is it different, the fast RAM? The RAM itself, the hardware, technically isn't different. It's just RAM. It's just which bus it's plugged into on the Amiga, because the Amiga's got 2 buses. It's got the chip RAM bus and the fast RAM bus. So on the 1200, when you put memory in the bottom in the expansion slot, that's fast RAM, which is good because it's fast, but it's bad because the custom chips can't access it. So regardless of how you stack it, your Amiga 1200 can still only access the custom chips can only get 2 megabytes of RAM, even if you put in, you know, as much fast RAM as you want. But that's different on the different computers, because on the Amiga 600, when you put it in the chip, when you put the memory in the slot on the bottom, that's chip RAM. It's an extra megabyte chip RAM. It's not fast RAM. And if you put it in on the 500, it's even worse, because it's what they call slow RAM, which is, it's not what is it? It doesn't become. It goes in the chip RAM space, but the chips on the Amiga 500 can't access it. So it's the worst kind of RAM. But it was cheap, and it worked. But yeah, technically the Amiga 600, you can't technically put fast RAM in it, but people find a way, don't they? They've done little clip-on things that you clip onto the processor, and you can get fast RAM on it. People have got Amiga 600s that have got like everything in them. You've got like hard disk and fast RAM and all kinds of crazy stuff. WHD load takes a good deal of RAM. Yeah, I've not used WHD load because I'm running off real floppy disk. But yeah, you're going to need a good deal of RAM, I assume, because they must be loading all the disks into fast RAM or something. I don't know how that's working. Got an A600 with no RAM showing up. Got an A600 with no RAM showing up, but will load 1 megabyte external like yours was. It will load. Oh, hang on. Doing my head in, found the 68,000 was faulty and replaced it and fixed the IDE problem, but still no RAM. Oh right, that's interesting. So you're saying that the internal memory on the, so if you take you got your Amiga 600, and if you take the trapdoor expansion out, it comes up as having no memory. That would be, how would you even boot the computer to know that? I mean, mine had one bad RAM chip, so the bad RAM chip was taking the whole system down. But once I took that out, it will boot with half a megabyte of RAM, the Amiga 600, even because the other half a megabyte is optional. But I think it has to be the right chip that you take out. So when I took the bad chip out, it just started booting. But an Amiga 600 with half a megabyte of RAM is basically useless. So I did actually fix it in the end. Chip RAM is for graphics. Yeah, it's for graphics. Not just graphics though, it's for graphics and sound and all DMA. So DMA for like the disk drive and file access. And yeah, the sound would be another big one as well. So if you put up a sampling memory, that would have to go into the chip RAM. And I don't know what else uses it. Probably some other stuff as well. But mostly, yeah, it would mostly be graphics, but it could be the sound as well. Which amazes me how Hippo manages to get all this stuff into... It must be putting the stuff into fast RAM and using it there somehow, or streaming it out. I don't know how it's doing it. We're not in the garden. We're in Dorset, trying not to catch Lyme disease. Well, I can not recommend. I never got Lyme disease, but I did get bitten by a tick. So, I would recommend. In fact, after getting bitten by a tick, I don't really like going into long grass anymore. And after reading up on it, they say you should always wear like long trousers, and you should try and wear white things so that you can see the ticks on the. If you picked any up on your clothes, you can see them on the white things. So yeah, wear white socks and wear long white sleeves. That's my advice of trying not to catch Lyme disease. There you go. I did see you can use an external CD-ROM for PC and work on an Amiga. I've never used a CD-ROM at all on an Amiga, ever, which annoyed me when I got I got OS 3.2 on a CD-ROM after never having used one in Amiga. I'm going to skip this one because it's going on forever. It's 8 minutes in. It's going to finish soon, but that was a pretty boring one. That was a pretty boring... This one's called Mutant Intro. Yeah. So yes, I did like you. Tried removing U17. Still good. Swapped chips and still dead. So needs further investigation. RAM signal works. That's how it runs external RAM. Yeah, you've got to remember as well that the custom chips do access the RAM as well. So you might not have bad RAM. You could have bad Agnes. Or what's Agnes called in the Amiga 600? It's not called Agnes, is it? It's called something else. It might be called Agnes, I'm not sure. Sage advice, yes, wear white. There you go, wear white. That's what I'm doing now. Put this white t-shirt on with skulls all over it. Sorry, I mean, I swapped the RAM chips and still no good. And yeah, it's a interesting one. But yeah, just remember that the chip RAM is all accessed through the chips because it's chip RAM. So what's the Agnes called in the 600? Is it called Agnes? Or is it called something else? They changed the name in every revision, didn't they? This one's Lisa or something, is it? Or is Lisa the chip? It's called... no, it's called Agnes. In the 600 it is called Agnes. So I don't know is the answer. You could have a bad Agnes. It's possible, but I just can't tell you. I can't tell you what the problem would be. You also got to remember that just about any chip that is connected to that bus could also bring down the system. Because any chip going bad can like do you in. It doesn't help that everything's surface mount and not socketed on the 600, but that's where you're up to. It's the point at where an oscilloscope might be handy, I suppose, because then you could start trying to look at signals on lines and seeing if something's bad. So there's that. Yes, Agnes and Gale handle RAM. Does Gale handle the RAM? Or Gale's the chip that does all the... Is Gale the one that does all the switching? It's like the PLA in the Commodore 64, isn't it? I think it handles floppy drive and it does all the... what do you call it? I don't know. The chip enable and everything. So yeah, a bad Gale will probably bring the whole system down, I think. Agnes. Yeah, I got it. Agnes. You did buy a copy of Amiga OS 3.2. Excellent. You can stick that on everything now, can't you? You can stick it on as many Amigas as you own, I think. I think that's the license, but again, don't quote me on that because I can't remember. I have a spare A600 with all the chips socketed, so I can test any chips. Oh my word. That is unbelievable. Well, on the A600, it's actually called Fatter Agnes, due to the ECS chipset. I knew there was Agnes, Fat Agnes. I didn't know it was Fatter Agnes. Is that what it says on the board? Is it fatter though? It got a bit slimmer, didn't it, on the 600? It should have been called Slimmer Agnes, I think. I think Agnes got slimmed down a touch. So where is the 2 ports you can put extra RAM in? I don't know what you mean. You mean on the... Are you talking about the Amiga 1200? There's just one... There's one expansion port. There's one trapdoor expansion port. I don't know about 2 ports. But you can't expand the chip RAM in the Amiga 1200 because it's got maximum amount of chip RAM built onto the board. That's why it doesn't expand. So it only expands into fast RAM because they have maxed out the chip RAM, which is good. On the Amiga 600, that's different because it's only got 1 mega chip RAM. So the trapdoor gives you more chip RAM because that's probably what you'd want if you were going to expand it and you only had 1 mega chip RAM. You'd want more chip RAM, and then after that you'd probably want fast RAM. Although fast RAM might help as well. So the 1200 was really good for that. The 1200 was really good that when you got a memory expansion, it was fast RAM, and that hadn't happened on the prior wedge-shaped Amigas. So 11 megabytes will be okay to fast RAM. Yeah, your 11 megabytes will be fast RAM. It'll have to be because it can't be chip RAM because the chips can't access that any more RAM than that 2 megabytes. 2 megabytes is the max. In fact, it was 2 megabytes the max any Amiga could have had because the chips never got past that 2 megabyte limit, I suspect. That's my suspicion. But yeah, it's a strange world, the Amiga, with these 2 buses, but it does kind of make sense if you look at the architecture. Having that, it's just a shame that they didn't all come with some fast RAM. Like even a few K of fast RAM on the Amiga 500 would have made it so much faster. Like you could have had a little bit of RAM where you could have done stuff with while the chips were doing things. Okay, so when I put a game in it, it will say extra RAM detected. Well, that's up to the game, to be honest. I mean, Lemmings says that, but Lemmings might say that on a standard Amiga 1200 with no expansion in, because they might just be detecting the extra megabyte above the 1 that they thought you needed. Yep, only trapdoor for extra 1 megabyte RAM, but without 1 megabyte internal chip RAM, it really gives problems for running the Amiga 600. Yeah, I think that was the conclusion I came to with mine, was that when I took that chip out and got it working with 0.5 megabyte, and I just thought, well, I could leave it now and it would work, but then I thought, this is just going to be terrible. Like an Amiga 600 with 0.5 megabyte internal memory, because none of the software was ever expecting that, were they? And a lot of the software expected a megabyte of chip RAM. And you couldn't really say, well, I'll run Workbench 1.3 on it because that only needed 200k memory. Like, no one's going to do that on an Amiga 600. Do you know what Amiga game is more than 1 megabyte? I'm pretty sure it's none of them, except anything that was an AGA game, probably. I doubt there would have been any game that would need more than 1 megabyte. There might be some that use more than 1 megabyte, like probably Lemmings does, and all it's really doing, I think, is it detects the extra memory, and then when it loads a level, it just keeps that in the extra memory and then doesn't have to reload it from the disk. In theory, it could probably keep every single level in memory, but it doesn't. It just loads an extra on. AGA is hard drive. I don't know what you mean. This one's not particularly great, this one. Let's listen to one more, then we'll do some Lemming. Look, Jazz Funk, that's got to be the one we listen to. Is it Jazz Funk, though? I don't know what's going on here. Whoa, it's crazy, I can tell you that. A hard drive game is AGA, isn't it? No, AGA is the chipset they introduced for the Amiga 1200 and for, was it the 4000? So it's the advanced graphics architecture chipset, or whatever they called it. So your Amiga 1200 is AGA. So because anyone making an AGA game, when there weren't many, knew the machine had 2 megabytes in, they would probably write the game to run with 2 megabytes. But even then, you have to realise they still put the same cruddy floppy drive in, which doesn't even hold 2 megabytes. So ultimately, if your game came on one floppy disk, the chances of it using 2 megabytes of RAM is still quite low. It might do, but you never know. You never really know, do you? On the A500, I modded the RAM expansion to be seen as chip RAM. have to mod the board though, cutting some extra traces here and there. Yeah, I think that depended on the version of the A500 you got. I think if certain ones you could mod to have a proper 1MB chip RAM, couldn't you? And I think some of them just ended up with 1MB of real chip RAM. But yeah, I think earlier ones couldn't even do that. So it depends on which version of Agnes you've got, I think, because the version of Agnes can't address that memory at all. But I think a lot of them could be modded to have 1MB of real chip RAM. But I bet most Amigas had the slow RAM at the end of the day, didn't it? I think mine's got slow RAM in it. Have you used the Relikit downgraded? No, I've never bothered using it. I'm not sure if you're trying to run games whether it really makes much difference, to be honest, because most games wouldn't use the kick ROM, so they would just disable it and write their own routines. Rev 6, there you go. I think it's Rev 6. I'm not sure which Rev, but there was certainly a Rev where they upgraded the Agnes. Yeah, so the problem is with the Amiga 500, it's that you put the RAM in the bottom, and it's on the chip RAM bus, which means it's sharing the bus with the chips. So it only gets every other cycle is given over to one cycle's given to the CPU and one cycle's given to the chips. So it's slower because of that. And in theory, that means the chips can access it, but the earlier chips can't address memory that high. So it's on the chip RAM bus, and the chips can't talk to it. So that's why it's slow RAM, because it's the worst of both worlds. So that's a pretty it wasn't really a scummy trick. It was like it was a trade-off just to make the Amiga 500 cheaper, because at the end of the day, it was a cost-reduced Amiga 1000, so they were cost-reducing it. And they did, and eventually they upgraded it so you got the full megabyte, and then you got 2 megabytes, and I don't think it ever got past 2 megabytes. The A1200 is one of the better made Amigas by Commodore. The A600 is a flaky computer to work on because of the poor quality of the PCB. I thought the PCB in the 1200 was very similar. I didn't think they were that much different. They look, I don't think they look super bad, either of them. I think they look quite similar, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if they were made vaguely the same time in the same factory. Got the same crappy caps in, I can tell you that. When I had a 500, I put 512K extra memory in, as did everybody. Everybody had 512K extra memory, because if you didn't, you were nobody. You were a nobody if you didn't have that extra RAM. You think the 1200 is a much better PCB? It might be. It was made a year later, so maybe it is an improvement. Look, it looks like the same manufacturing process to me and stuff. Some of the components look the same. The caps look the same keyboard, same crappy ribbon connector on the keyboard and stuff. The keyboard does look identical, except it looks like they chopped off the 600 file. But definitely the caps are just as crappy as in each one. Right, let's boot this baby up. Let's try not to get a guru meditation. I got to turn the cache off because it's a 1200. It's a 1200, so we're gonna have to turn the cache off. Sorry, we're gonna disable you. And remember, this is the cracked version Lemmings, because the real version doesn't work. This one. Ugh. There it is. But you do get this great crack show, which we're not going to watch. A lot more faulty A600s out there than 1200s. Well, that might be because there's a lot more A600s out there than 1200s. That could be the reason. I don't think the 1200s sold very well, because I don't think they were able to make enough. I think that was the problem. I think they got supply chain constrained, or they ran out of money for parts, one of the two. It might be both. And they had a Christmas where the Amiga 1200 came out, and they couldn't make enough. Because they just couldn't. Yeah, basically, it was a bit of a huge failure. As far as I'm concerned, it's the last decent computer they put out. That and the 4000, and they just couldn't meet the demand. I bet you there isn't that many Amiga 1200s in existence. Do you reckon there was only... The thing I saw was it saying there was only 4.85 million Amigas sold in total. So, in terms of 1200s, there can't be that many of them. I bet you there's not a million. I bet you there's not even 500,000 of them. I bet there's more like... Oh, I don't know. It could be in the tens of thousands of Amiga 1200s. You just don't know, do you? They might be quite a rare computer. When I get the 11 megabytes... When I get the 11 megabytes, email, I can use more features. Email? You're going to use email? Well, I don't know what you're going to do with 11 megabytes. I don't know what I do with 11 megabytes. It's just a lot of megabytes. You think 250,000. Do you get more capable features when you put more RAM? Not really. You can load stuff into memory that needs more RAM. But even then, if it's like graphics, if you're doing deluxe paint, you still can't really load more stuff in because there's some of it needs chip RAM. Like you can load a 2 meg mod in Hippo Player once you've got a fast RAM upgrade, which I couldn't do before. You reckon there's a 250,000 Amiga 1200s? That's not a lot of Amigas, is it? So, although is it? I don't know. It might be a lot, but it's probably the rarest Amiga, is it? Would you say it's the rarest Amiga? I mean, I suppose the Amiga 1000 is the rarest Amiga, but after that, because the Amiga 1000, I think it sold like 50,000 in its first year or something. It was terrible. It did very badly because it was pretty expensive. Well, it was $1,500 when it came out. And oh, you think the A600 is the rarest? Yeah, you could be right. I don't think there's any actual real sales figures out there. It could be the A600. I don't know. Put mine on eBay for 100 quid. Yeah, I got that. Did I get that Amiga for 60, 70 pounds? The one that was broken? The gut feeling that the 600 is the rarest. I think it's the 1200 because I think they ran out of parts. I think they would have sold a lot more, but they think they ran out of parts. Well, they ran out of parts or they didn't pay their suppliers and couldn't make them, which I suspect is what actually happened. I've never had any problems seeing 1200s on eBay. Well, maybe. Maybe people just getting rid of them because they don't like them. I also think because the 1200 came out closer to the end of the Amiga's life, it's possible a lot of people didn't buy them. I mean, I was a big Amiga fan back then, and I didn't have a 1200 because I couldn't afford one, and it was just paying for another Amiga that did a few extra things. So they are now silly money. Yeah, I got this for 240, and keep in mind it didn't have a RAM expansion, and what else? And it had a broken floppy drive, which I still never managed to fix. But apart from that, yeah, it came with a mouse and stuff. It was £240. Obviously, UK and Europe had the best sales. There is a table of sales on the web. Now the prices are insane for the A1200 and A600. Weird. Yeah, I suppose they're going to go up as they get rarer, I suppose. But in the big scheme of things, they're still cheaper than they were new back then. But considering they're such an old computer and they're pretty useless, let's face it. I mean, I say useless. They're useless as an everyday computer, if you know what I mean. You're not going to do your business banking on them and stuff like that. So they are kind of useless. Do you know what? Last week I wrote the code down for the level I'm on, and I don't have the code, but I'll get it now. It's level 27 taxing. Oh, PC. I've been on this thing before. Oh, these PC ones work. Taxing level 27. That's what I'm on. Hang on. I'm going to turn the music off because I know the level I'm on, the music's going to be broken. I don't think you can do that till you quit the game, though, can you? I wonder if there's a way to do that in the thing. I'm actually going to turn the music off for this next level. New level, that's what you have to do, isn't it? It is. Level 27, taxing. Yeah, there you go. Right. Okie dokie. Prices have gone up a lot in the past years. Maybe COVID helped with that because when everyone had the pandemic, they all started getting old Amigas out and selling them and stuff. I remember giving away an Amiga 1200. Had I known what I know now, I wouldn't have done it. Oh well. Hopefully somebody put it to some good use and didn't just chuck it away though. Two player, did I see that right? 2-player, 2 mice, did I see that right? Yes, you did. There is a 2-player. Lemmings has a 2-player mode. And yes, you use it with 2 mice. The Amiga does totally support dual mice. You can dual wield mice. I can't remember. I think I played it in the computer store, the 2-player mode, but I'm not exactly sure. It's a bit like Battle Royale Lemmings. I think you've got to get your Lemmings in, they've got to get theirs, but you can send Lemmings to blow up their parts of the map and stuff. I think it's Mayhem 2-player. It's kind of like you can cooperate or you can battle against each other. At around 2010, bought an A1200 for £80 and found a Blizzard 030 in the trapdoor. Those were the days. Oh yeah. Nowadays there's like no chance. You'd be lucky to get someone who's not trying to scam you and sell you a complete empty box full of soil. Bought a 9 ISO Amiga bundle, games, utilities and other stuff. Got to download 36 gigabytes. Are you going to put that on an Amiga? Mice, there you go. Yeah, I know I got that. You typed it twice wrong, didn't you? Autocomplete's completing his Mika. It's crazy. At the beginning of the 90s, I wanted to buy a 486, but when I found out the price of the monitors, I stayed with the Amiga. The Amiga was the easy connection to the TV. Yeah, that is the thing. The Amiga was cheap. That's why we used it. It was cheap. And it stayed cheap for quite a while. And it stayed pretty good for quite a while. But you've got to admit that the 1200, by the time this came out, they were, I'm not going to say flogging a dead donkey, but they were kind of like rehashing the old hardware, which was very good in 1985, but by 1992 was starting to show its age. The PC was probably way better than this in 1992. So, I don't know, but also a lot more expensive. So, like, a lot of people like me and other people probably still stuck with the Amiga because it still had a good following and it was still cheaper. And yeah, you didn't have to buy a monitor. I never really owned a proper monitor back in the day. I bought a £200 telly from some shop and I got it on credit, interest-free credit, and I paid it off. And that because it had composite and SCART in it, so I always used that. So I never saw output this good that you're seeing now. I never saw that back in the day. It was probably always a bit fuzzy, but it was better than the Commodore 64, so I thought I was probably happy with it. For PC, I can put the data on a hard drive on the Amiga. Well, if you can fit it on there, you can fit it on there. It's my fat fingers. It's not the autocomplete. Well, just need a bigger screen. If you've got fat fingers, just get bigger buttons. That's what you want. Right, it's going to crunch the disc. It's going to be weird to play without the music, but I know the music on this level is going to be broken, so I'm not going to put it on. But I noticed you do get stereo sound effects, by the way, on Lemmings. So I don't know if that only applies when the music's off, but you get, like, if you hear clicking on the right, there is a builder on the right, unless you've plugged your Amiga in the wrong way, and then you're going to get it on the left, which is going to be ultra confusing. So hopefully my left and right are correct on this. But you'd probably need headphones to test that out. Oh, it's just so wrong without the music. I've already let the Lemmings die. I was turning my sound up and look, that's just wrong, isn't it? Oh, that sounds so loud. Wait a minute. Have I got the... I might have this backwards. I have got it backwards. This is actually backwards. Hang on a minute. That's definitely the wrong speaker. Hang on, I'm gonna unplug this live. Let's have the left in the right and the right in the left. Let's try not to short anything out. Right, that's better. Right, so that's in my left ear now, and if I go over here, that's in my right ear. So the sound's actually properly stereo in Lemmings. That's pretty cool. So when you hear the noises, you know where that's happening. Those poor Lemmings. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Love the Stewart Cheifet thumbnail. Guy's a legend. Yeah, he is a legend, and that is not that thumbnail. Although I've put a bit of extra of my stuff on the top, there is a link in the description to that particular section of the Computer Chronicles where he did actually hold up the Lemmings box. He was just telling people it was out for PC DOS, but I was quite shocked. I was like, Lemmings, and he quite liked it. Let's start this again.
Oh no!
Oh, this really sounds really weird, this, without the music. I'm sure that something's gone wrong here, though, because I've got the red lead plugged into the left, which is red is right, isn't it? So, I don't know. Maybe my Amiga's always had My Amiga's always had the left and the right backwards for many years. Because there's nothing else here that could flip it round, I think. No, I don't think so. I think that's it. Anyway, you've got your stereo corrected now. Don't worry about it. Computer Chronicles is great. It is great. I love it. I hated this about the Amiga. Channels are panned hard left and right. I wish we could have panned it anywhere else than stereo field. I did back in the day. I had a little mixer and I used to like pan it a little bit. But yeah, it's not really hard panned. It's just they sent 2 channels out of one and 2 channels out of the other. It was probably better than just mixing it to mono. It was probably cheaper. And at least it meant you could have stereo. So this game's taking advantage of that. The big question though is, how am I going to do this? I've got 10 blockers, 10 bridge builders, and 10 exploders. I've got to get up here, and I'm going to have to explode my way through the roof. But the big question is, just how am I going to do that? That's the question that's on our minds. I'm going to try this. This is so wrong without the music. It's just super wrong. I think I'm going to put the blocker down here. I don't know. I'm going to do this. And he's going to block there. Right. So I've got to explode my way through a roof. That's as much as I can tell you. So I could block there and explode. Let's see how this goes. Oh no! Oh, it's just put a tiny hole in the roof. This is rubbish. I've only got 7 bridges here. I mean, is this going to be enough? Oh, I don't know. Let's try this then. Oh no! This is not... I might have to rethink this one. Oh, do you know what? I think you can get... you could get a bit higher by doing this. I think. Oh no, that's really messed it up. Oh no. Well, I'm doing it right there. I've got a blocker in the way though now. He's gonna have to go. Oh no. Do you think I've made a mess of this or what? It's really quite hard. I'm not sure. If he goes up there, he can build like this. I'm not sure if I'm going to get up here. Oh no! Oh, look at that though. That's not super bad. I'm running out of bridges though. This is just truly awful what I've done here. I mean, I think you've got to do it like this, but maybe I need to start building from the... I've probably got to start building from this top bit here because I think I've used too many bridges. Let's nuke them and try them again. I don't like this playing without the music. I think it needs the music, this game. But it is super broken. Oh, look at that. SCART to SCART, I use my Amiga. I don't use a HDMI upscaler. Well, you're going to have something with SCART on it. And in theory, if your screen is high res, it's probably upscaling at some point. How about build a bridge going up to the right? I might do. Yeah, what I did there was bad. No wiki facts. I'm using my mobile tonight. Thank God for that. Should you start building the bridge from the top of the block? Yes, I think that was my idea. I probably should have done. I don't know why I did it there. I just did it like that. Agree with the panning. The only gripe I have. Okay. Last time I played Lemmings was in the mid-90s. Pixel Plop evening. Good evening. Next time put the block up. Next time put the block up on the right and build the bridge going up to the left. Yes. I don't know why going up to the left would really help. Maybe that helps. I don't know. These levels don't get any easier. I'm not sure. They're a bit random. Yep, you have made a mistake. Thanks. Thanks for pointing out my mistakes. Yep, you have messed up. I have, but I got the right idea. Yeah, I suppose I could block there and start building up like that way. I don't know how that helps me though. Possibly does help me. Not sure. Not really sure. I could just start building there, couldn't I? How is that any different? Yeah, let's build back because that might be more successful. It could be more successful. Really would like. Oh no! Whoops, didn't want to. That's all right. He's all right there. So I'm going to use less bridges. Now it's time to blow things up.
Oh no!
It's just so pitiful when he does that one. Am I going to get up here with this stuff?
Oh no!
We're going up. We are going up. Oops. Oh, that was wrong. Anyway, we're going up.
Oh no!
This is just ridiculous, this level. Oh, I want to get him right on the end. There we go. Come on, guys.
Oh no!
There we go. We've got to get up higher, haven't we? It's just, I've never played this game without the music on. It's just so wrong.
Oh no!
It feels so wrong. Look at this. Right, let's get you right on the end. Is he going to get a hole through?
Oh no!
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I think I might have just messed it up at the end here. Why did I do that? That was just rubbish. Let's do that anyway. I think we'll be alright.
Oh no!
Oh no, do you know what? I have messed this up. Yeah, especially after I've just wasted that bridge. Because I needed one more to get over there, didn't I? Maybe building backwards this way was a bad idea. So that's great, but unfortunately I used one extra bridge and I would have made it. I needed one bridge to go over there. Oh well. I think that's the right way to do it anyway. Damn you. Damn you.
Oh no!
Put a blocker on the left. Also, I've done that. The PC version of 7th Guest is coming to PC VR and PSVR 2. That's not anything I'm familiar with, that particular game. Not sure building to the left would help. You still need to build to the right once you've reached the upper level. Yeah, I thought building to the left might be better because... And this is the only because... Let's have a look. If you start, you could start building there, but if you go a bit too far here, they could start dropping into the water. That was my only thing about that. So yeah, you could start there and try and go up, up, and up, but you're risking falling in the water here when they're falling over when it's not complete. So I think I'll stick with the left. It was going to work. I just botched it. It was just a bit of a botch. That's all. But I can't wait to do this level so we can put the music back on. That's what we need. We need music. Let's block you down here. Oh, he could have gone a bit higher, but we're not going to waste a bridge on that. Need to save one blocker for the top as well.
Oh no!
Oh no! Come on, you can do it. Just get a little bit higher each time.
Oh no!
Oh, missed him. There we go. Yeah, this'll probably work if I don't mess it up.
Oh no!
There's lots of oh no's in this one. Oh, come on. Right, you're going higher. Right, here we go. Blast your way through.
Oh no!
Right, well, we've got 5 bridges left. That's not so bad.
Oh no!
Oh no! There's lots of oh no's. Right, I might have to do one more explosion. And I think that'll do it.
Oh no!
Right, are they going to get up here? Oh no, I tell you what, if too many go over there... Oh, it's alright, I've got one lemming on his own here. Right, I've just got to click the right lemming now. Oh no, this could be the bit that goes wrong. Alright, has it done it? Wow, that's so weird. Right, maybe that's done. That's a tricky one, getting through that. Well, it's taxing, not tricky. We've done tricky. But I am disappointed at the lack of music. Tricky this. Oh, it's Bones in Roncon. All right, Dave and all. Missed the stream last week. Was camping in Wenbury. Hope all is well. Camping or glamping? That's the question these days. Right, 91%.
Oh no!
That's enough, isn't it? There we go. Right, let's type this code in because I think I've got to go back to the title screen. I think. Unless there's a key to turn the music back on. GOOMNN HIHQ. I think that's a Q. Looks like a Q. Just replace the 3.1 workbench lib and lib icon libraries and put the 3.2 workbench lib and lib icon libraries. It should work. You live in the United Kingdom. You live in the United Kingdom. Yes. Right. How do I turn the music on? Can I press M? This is the most important thing we need to know about this game now. Oh, I pressed F1. Oh, that just ends the... F1 just ends the level. Let's try F2. Okay, that's good to know. F1 just ends the game. No, I want music. It's not M. Oh, P is pause. Okay, that works. Well done, thanks. Well, there's no way of knowing how to turn the music back on. We have to go back to the main menu. Oh no. Music's going back on. Oh, I can just take one player. It should go back to the level I was on, should it? Yes, it does. Excellent. All right, okay. What's going on here? 70% to be saved. Release rate 1. And 100 lemmings. And a massively cranky disk drive that doesn't like one. Right. Oh, that's better. That's much better. Right, they're dying, aren't they? They are dying. The lemmings are going to die. Is that going to be enough to save them? No. Oh no. I don't think there's a better way of doing this. You have to build up there like that. Glad the music's back though. We are losing lemmings like there's no tomorrow. Right. Is he going to die now? Come on, you can... He's still dying! Unbelievable. I haven't even looked where the exit is. Where's the exit? It's over here. And that looks like a trap. No go tech. No, there's no go tech. Right, this is tricky. This is not... I don't think what I've done here is right, but let's roll with it. Wow, they really can't fall that far. And I've used all my bridges. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Well, the lemmings aren't dying. How many died when I was doing that? Let's find out. Because I don't think this is going to do it. Stick them all out here. $74, yeah, so I've got to save 70. So that was alright. But there's a big question of how you get round here. So I think if we get over here, this is all fine. This is all fine. Need a bridge to get over that, which I think is the disaster. I think that's a trap. So the big question is, I can dig through there. So ideally, I just want to go over the top there, don't I? But look how many bridges I had to use to do this. That's a lot of bridges. That is quite a lot of bridges. I do have one... look, I do have one climber. Maybe I could get him to climb up. I'm not sure. If I got him to climb... Go down here, climb back up, and then start digging down here. I could dig out and then build a bridge like that. I don't know. What's this thing up here? It's weird. But it's good to have the music back, that's all I can say. I think this is too much bridges because now I've done this. I mean, if you want to go this way, you've got to build bridges across here. That's a thing. I don't know.
Oh no!
We are going to get a stupendous explosion, though. Oh, too much lemming death. Right, let's try something a little bit different. Because that didn't work. Let's get this guy to go. Let's do this. Oh, I haven't got any downward diggers. I didn't know that. Whoops. That hasn't really helped me at all, has it? I was going to dig down here, but I can't. I mean, I can dig this way. Oh yeah. Look, I've seen it. I see it. This thing at the top. This thing. I was like, why is this here? And I think we're about to find out. Although, he's going to try and climb that, and that's not what we want. Right. This seems like a better plan. Even if it's a terrible plan, it's a better plan. Come on, little lemmings, you can do it. Oh, he's still going to die. Right, I did that because I don't think the bridge quite made it all the way up to the top. Well. Oh, he stopped. Actually seems weird now I've switched the audio, that everything's in the other ear compared to how it used to be. Right, I'm getting somewhere. They have given me a blocker. I wonder if I should use it. Because I feel like we're going to die up here, but I don't know. I feel like we're going to die. Oh no, how many are going to walk in that? Oh, one walked over it. Right, let's see what we won. We might have lost too many lemmings there. Let's see what we won. Anyone read the Commodore Amiga books by Brian Bagnall? No. No. I've read the Into the Storm by Bill Hurd. That's quite a good book. But that's not about the Amiga. That's all about the stuff before the Amiga, because he kind of left just as the Amiga was getting going. In the Amiga 1200, when I put my hard drive and new chips in, I don't need the metal shielding after, do I? You need the metal shielding that's underneath the motherboard, because that's what's holding everything in. But the one on the top, no, I didn't put mine back in. It just makes it really hard to get the keyboard connection and stuff. Oh, I've not saved enough lemmings, have I? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, I just about did it. I did it. I'd got one extra lemming. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. I was thinking that wasn't going to work then. Jammy. You said it. You think that was jammy? That was skill. I planned to get one extra lemming in. Of course I did. I could have, to be honest, I could have blocked at the end when they were going through the trap. I could have blocked there to save some lemmings, but I just thought, nah, let's just let them die. But no, yeah, you're right. No, you don't need the upper shielding. You don't need it. No, you don't need it. It's to stop emissions from the Amiga. You technically don't need it. I didn't put mine back in. In fact, where is it? It's over here. Look. This is how much you need it. This is how much you need it. I didn't put it back in. It's here. There you go. You don't need this. I'm not using it, but I did keep it. Just in case you want to put it back. Oh, it's very shiny underneath. Very shiny. It's just sitting on a shelf. So technically my Amiga is radiating RF emissions everywhere. But do I care? Shiny and sharp. Yeah, that's the best kind of PC case. Did you ever get any of those cheap PC cases back in the day where you bought them and they were like 25 quid and you opened them up and they instantly lacerated you as soon as you put your hand inside it? They were the classic PC cases to get. Good read. We'll check out Herd's book later. Yes, it's very good. I think the top RF shield isn't needed. It's not needed functionally. No, it's not needed. You can take it out and the Amiga still works. I think you do have to be a bit careful with the... try to think. The floppy drive does technically sit on top of it, and you do have to be careful you don't like do something bad where the floppy drive doesn't fit properly, but it does work totally without it. Maybe it causes some interference with the devices. Yeah, that's what it's there for. It's not there to protect your Amiga from interference. It's to protect everything else from the Amiga interfering with it. So that is why they were required. It's probably degraded your Wi-Fi without the shielding. The Wi-Fi in this room's terrible anyway, so I have to use a wire when I'm in this room. So I'm not bothered. Well, I do have a Bluetooth mouse, and that sometimes is actually really dodgy in this room. So yeah, it could be that. You'll keep it. Yeah, I kept mine in case somebody wants to put it back. I mean, I wouldn't throw it away because it's like I said, if you throw that away, you'll never get another one. Well, you'll never be able to find another one. So I wouldn't throw away any pieces of the Amiga because they are not being made. You haven't built a PC unless you've spilt blood on your motherboard. That is true. That is totally true. I cut my hands so many times with those cheap cases. I'm glad it wasn't just me then. It's like, this cheap case will be fine. And you lacerate your hands on it. And then you're like, I'm not buying cheap cases anymore. I hate these things. It's just awful, aren't they? Absolutely awful. I don't even know if there's still a thing. I haven't built a PC in years. But my last PC, I bought a Corsair case for it. So it was really quite high quality. It wasn't super expensive, but it was much higher quality than that crap you got back in the day, those beige things. But I don't know if they're still like that now. How do I dig up the way? What? Have they always cut the bottom off the P on this text? Has that always been a thing? They always cut the bottom off. Yeah, they look like they're cutting the bottom off the text. How do I dig up the way? We don't know. What's the music going to be though? Let's go. I'm getting 10 of everything except bridges where I only get 5. Okay. Where have we got to go? OMG. Got to get all the way up there. How do I dig up the way? Have they not given me enough bridges to get over this thing? I think that's what they've done. I don't think 5 bridges is anywhere near enough to go like that. I think you've got to send a lemming up there and dig him back down. I think. What? How many did I have to save? I didn't look. So I'll look quickly before we start this. The music does sound different now. I've switched to left and right. I'm just going to look at what I've got to save. The last PC I had was a Dell Optiplex. Oh, they're the tiny things, aren't they? Got one of those upstairs. It's like teeny tiny. Looks like a router. Router. 95% I've got to save. Okay. Out of 100. I can lose 5 lemmings. Let's see if they survive this. Let's see how they do. I'm going to let some die on this first pass just to see what we get. Are they going to die? Yes. Okay, guys. That's not good. So we probably need to do like this. Something like that. I'm learning. I'm learning the level. This was an old 2000 model 150, I think. What's that? Oh, right. So are they big, the Dell Optiplex? Dell Optiplex now is like a little teeny thing. Yeah, okay, this is This is where Lemmings are going to die here. This is no way I can do it like this. But I think I've got to do... I think this is how they want me to do it. Are you going to make it? Yeah, they're making it now. Send one guy over, or two. Somebody's got to... Oh, there you go. And I've probably got to dig in exactly the right place, which is going to be... Where's exactly... Oh! Where is exactly the right place to dig? Oh, it might be like right there. What do you reckon? Let's see what we get. That's not the right place. Oh, my mouse didn't work. Goddamn ball mouse. There's no way that's anywhere near enough. Right, I think that's the plan anyway. I've just got to do that without killing loads of lemmings. Something like this anyway. I've got a floater. I can send the floater down, can't I? Yeah, he's got to dig way further over than that. Okay, let's start again. Being I bought an 11 megabyte card, 11 megabytes, can the PCMA cards, can it still work? I don't know. You'd have to see. It definitely does conflict with something above 4 megabytes. I think you can do it, but I don't know. You'd have to ask someone more knowledgeable than that. I don't know. Oh, I just turned mine off straight away. I haven't had any use for 8 megabytes of RAM anyway, so I'm happy with the 4. Even new PC cases can cut you to pieces. It was better than old PC cases, but still. And I know that because I built a new PC 2 months ago. What case did you use then? Because I used a Corsair case, and I don't think there's anything sharp in there. I mean, in theory, you could cut yourself in it, but it's definitely a lot better. The Flash movie comes soon, 16th of June. All right, okay. This has just made my day, mate. I'm a Brit living in the US, and as soon as I saw your live feed pop up, it was instant click. Glad we Miggins haven't given up on the beautiful machine. No, I've not given up on it. It's still here, it's still working, and we're still using it, and I'm still playing Lemmings. So, to be honest, I'm not sure I ever got this far in this game back in the day, or how much of it I played, so it's good to catch up on it. There you go. If you want to watch Amiga stuff, this is doing this like once a week at the moment. Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny coming out this June. I will probably watch that. I don't know if that's going to be any good though. Aren't ball mice the worst? Not something I can be nostalgic about. They're not actually that bad. I mean, this ball mouse, that did fail me a little bit there. It's not that bad actually. I think with a decent mouse mat, it's all right. They were like back in the day. They got really cruddy, didn't they? But I think you just have to like look after them more. They're like having a pet. They're like actually having a pet. You've got to look after them more. Modern mice, you just chuck them about and everything, and you don't even need a mouse mat. These things, you need a mouse mat, and you've got to clean them. But other than that, the resolution's not as high as well, but it's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. I like it. I mean, I wouldn't go back to the ball mouse. I mean, I'm using it now. I could get an optical mouse for the Amiga, but I'm using it. It wasn't really sharp, but putting the motherboard big cooler was really hard. Yeah, you can get cases where stuff just doesn't fit. Does everyone remember the Batman pack? That was the one I was exposed to. A500. I now work in architectural visualization, but it all started from Deluxe Paint and Video Toaster. Yeah, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So did you do loads of art in Deluxe Paint back in the day? Not a patch on the PS1 mouse. And when you say PS1, you're not talking about the IBM PS1. You're talking about the PlayStation 1, aren't you? There was an IBM PS1, I think, and a PS2, which had nothing to do with PlayStation. What are you using to launch your games? Launch my games? I put the floppy disk in and turn the computer on. That's how I do it. I haven't used WHD loader or anything like that. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing to launch my games. Insert floppy disk, boot computer. Right, I've got to do... first guy needs an umbrella, doesn't he? I think. And then the next guy digs. That's how it's going to work. Oops, I nearly pressed the nuke button. Right, I might lose a lemming there. Oh, let's send him over with an umbrella. Oh no, they're losing a lot of lemmings. Oh no. Oh god, I need to block up here. Oh, these guys are... Oh, look at that. Well. Would you look at that? You don't need to put a blocker up there, I think. I think this guy can dig through here. Is it here? Yeah, let's try that as well. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This has all gone really wrong. I'm interested to see what happens here. That means I don't actually need to block up there. They can all fall in this little pit down here, can't they? Oh god, it's just death. And is he going to stop digging there? That's interesting. Oh, there you go. Yeah, look at that. Right. I've just learned something. Let's start again. Can you do a tutorial for that booting method? I'll have to make a video on it. It would be too long though. It'd be like a 50-60 minute video. So there's no way I could do a video on that. It's impossible. Too much time and effort. How to boot game on Amiga. It'd be the same on a PlayStation as well, wouldn't it? You'd have to like insert the disc and like turn it on. It'd be quite hard, I imagine. I did do a lot of art, especially when I saw those crazy demos from the huge demo scene, and all the experimental stuff was mind-blowing at the time. The Scandinavians produced the best Amiga demo art. I think they did. Really fun when you try to find something about the PS2 and instead you get info about the PlayStation 2. Yep, that's the way it goes. Does anybody remember? I'm sure I remember back in the day. It was on TV. It was an advert, and they were saying, what do you do when you're waiting to print? And there was an advert going on. It's like, what do you do when you're waiting to print? Well, I do this, I do that. And I'm sure it was an advert for OS2. Did that run on the PS2? Wasn't OS2 though, was it? Or did it run on a PS2? I'm not sure. I get really confused, but it was an IBM thing, wasn't it? What was the menu you had on the screen when you booted the Amiga? That was, I don't know. That was Hippo. I held down both mouse buttons to disable the CPU cache, and I had Hippo player on, and that was it. And I was using Dopus to transfer files. Do you have any interest in the Mister? I think the Mister looks pretty cool, but I don't have one. A Mister was originally designed to do Amiga, wasn't it? PS2 like interface for keyboard and mouse, not IBM PC range. I mean, I don't know. I remember the PC used to have the PS2 port on it, didn't it? But I don't know. Was the PS2 was a different computer? I'm not sure. Right. What have I got to do straight away? I think the first guy digs. First guy digs. I think. And then we can keep all the lemmings. Oh, can't I just put a blocker in instead? Let's just put a blocker in instead. Let's do that. This guy's going to block. Like that. Oh, I need to give him a volley. Otherwise he die. Oh, I probably should have sent 2 people over as well. So these guys aren't dying. Look at that. No death. Make him a climber as well. Oh, I've got to turn him round up here. Didn't think of this, did I? Right. Got to turn this guy around. Let's turn him around with one of these. Or one of these. I don't know. Which one? Right. This looks like it's half decent. Where's he going to end up? Probably not in the right place. Tell you what, there's not a great time limit on this, is there? He's not going to end up anywhere where they can go up, is he? Whoops. I suppose I can build a bridge up there if I can get back. The time limit's going to be against me here. Time limit is going to do me in. Oh no, this might be quite good actually. Is he? He's going to come out in the right place. What the devil? What the devil? Let's save this guy as well. Oh, there you go, you turned back. Oh wow, there's like 100 lemmings down there. Yeah, it's like one of these little blocks here has got like 100 lemmings in it. Wow, I actually built that in the perfect place. There you go, like 48 lemmings just went in there. OS2 was the competitor to Windows 95 and it flopped. Yeah, I remember it flopped, but I do remember the adverts on TV. I think it was out when Windows 3 was out though, wasn't it? I think OS2 was out when Windows 3 was out. Oh, look at that. I've got one guy out. Sorry, you can die. He's the only guy I lost. Yeah, I think it was. I'm not sure if it was a Windows 95 competitor, but it's definitely out before Windows 95 because it's on Computer Chronicles now, and it's like 1991, 1992 episodes, and OS2's on it. So it must have been a Windows 3 competitor, but I don't know why they didn't get it to work. Maybe it's just because of the compatibility or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. Can you use the Raspberry Pi Zero to put in a 1200 to use it for HDMI connection? I think there is a way. There is a HDMI you can do in the 1200 to do that, but I've not tried it. I'm not sure. Mist is the first one that has the DB9 ports. Oh, change to Punchy. Was that you telling me to? Yeah, I think I know what you meant when it was just at the end. That's what I did, but I didn't want to risk it. Good luck playing the Lemmings Amiga. I'm going to read myself to sleep with the Brian Bagnall book. Okay, have fun. Have fun. We might even get through some of these levels because I think this might be the last level in taxing. Didn't ESCOM choose OS2 instead of Windows for their PCs? They might have done because they made mistakes. I don't think so. I bet you they were putting Windows out. Everyone was putting Windows out, weren't they? Is this Lemmings 1 or 2? This is Lemmings 1. And this is level 30 on taxing. Are they going to put an absolute stinker in? Are they going to put a stinker in for level 30? Let's find out. That level last week was a stinker. And by the way, I looked up some people playing it afterwards. And they did manage to do it without the random chancing. If you don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's level 26, was it? Last week? Yeah, level 26 had real trouble with. And I saw somebody doing it, and they did make it a bit easier than the way I did it. But ultimately, I think I found a new solution to it that maybe no one had done before. I'm not sure. But yeah, they basically did have the same idea that I had about building bridges up at the sides. Right, 60 lemmings. I've got to save all of them. Oh no, you've got to be kidding me. This sick... Oh, you've got to be kidding. Right, so this is the one where if they walk off the edge down here, let's just check that they don't die. If they walk off the end here, they die, but if you dig down, they don't. And I've got to save 60 lemmings, and I've got 60 downward diggers. I can't believe they've done this. This is just ridiculous. I'll just let him walk off the end and make sure that he does die. I think he does, because I think it's the same level. I still haven't retrorated my Amiga yet. Well, there's no rush. There is no rush. And it'll just go yellow again anyway, so there's no rush. Let's put it that way. Is he gonna die? Yeah. Okay. Right. This is what you've got to do. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is just a click fest. There's the music looping. Oh, but the time limit. Oh no. I've just noticed the time limit. Oh no. Okay, well at least the time limit means I've got to do it faster. Because there's no way I'm going to do this in this amount of time. Look, I've got like 13 in there. Right, let's try it. Oh, I suppose it's having... I should have done it at the start there. Let's increase it a bit. Whew, I'm making it. Hang on. There's a lot of clicking here. There's no way I've even made it fast enough now, is there? Maybe I'm wasting my time with this one. Oh no, I missed one! Right, that's more like it. You gotta go faster. I suppose you can miss quite a few lemmings. You don't have to get them all. I wonder if that's fast enough. That's not fast enough, is it? Whoops. Oh, did you see that? Oh, yeah, look, you can let one of them go there, look. So you can let every other one go. Ah. That's interesting. That's quite a lot to that. I never thought. Oh, got 14 seconds. Oh, wait a minute. Have I got enough in already? Oh, how many did I have to get in? Oh, I needed them all. Whoops. Okay, got to get them all in. Right. And I ran out of time. But that wasn't too bad, considering I didn't know what I was doing. For some reason, I was thinking I've got to get 60% in, but it wasn't. It's 60 lemmings. I've got to get 100% in. Okay, can't lose any lemmings. That's the thing. Let's go with like 38. Right, so you only have to click on every other lemming. You don't have to like click on every single one. What have you got? I'm still waiting by my 500 case and keycaps. Just a few keys are yellow. OS2 is weird. It could run Windows. Hang on, let's unpause this and wait for them to get to the end. OS2 is run. It could run Windows 3.x, DOS, native OS software. Also, in the beginning, it was developed with collaboration of Microsoft, but Microsoft, after creating Windows, focused on it. Oh. This is stressful to watch. I am sorry. I am sorry. Can you use a PC printer to plug into the parallel port on Amiga? Don't know. Increased to 100% from the start. That could work. That could actually work. But you can't mess any of it up. You can't mess a single one up. So this is the problem. 100% might work. Like that. So I really only have to do every other one. I mean, this is going to work anyway, isn't it? Like, he can go. Let him go. Gives you a bit of... Oh, look at that. Oh, no, he's going to die. Right, okay. That could be bad, then. 100% from the start could work. But you got to be really careful. I think it's a bit more risky to do that. I might just click every single one. That'll work. And I think I can go a bit faster than 38. I can go like 50. Let's try 50. 53. Right, let's try that. How's 53? I can go faster than that. 60. 70. Right, that'll do. But this is an interesting take on a level they've done before. I mean, it was this same thing, but now there's more lemmings and there's more to do and stuff like that. Oh no, it's a click fest. Oh, I've not left myself enough room. Oh my word, this is not what I was expecting. No, I lost one. Oh, I didn't. I thought I lost one, but I didn't. Wow, that's pretty hard at 70. It's because I haven't got time to scroll the screen. Oh, nuke him. There we go. I'm nuking him. Just wondering if there is a way to get them to... No, there's no way to get them to stop digging, is there? If you could just get them to stop digging halfway, they'd all just walk down and not die. But there's no way to do it. Right, I think 70 was pushing it a bit. Let's try for 60. Let's try 55. Let's try that. I need enough time to scroll the screen. You've got to do it with the mouse. Got to do it with the mouse. Right, let's get as much on the screen as we can. This is going to be horrific. Oh, I'm not even going to be able to concentrate on doing this. This is requiring a lot of concentration. Is that it? Jeez. What was I on? 55. That was my... Right, I don't think I heard any squelches, so I think I did it. Release rate 50, then click fast your way through. I went for 55. I think it was pushing it a bit with 55. It's having to like scroll the screen and scroll back. It's pretty bad. It's quite a good level like that. I just didn't think it was going to be that interesting, but it is actually quite interesting. Did I get them all? It is a bit of a click fest. There we go. Oh my word. I think you can hit P to pause and make it easy to scroll. Can you? Yeah, you can scroll. Yeah, maybe I should have done that actually. I should have paused and scrolled it along. That's a good point. Because I do that all the time. But yeah, I probably should have paused. Well, that is taxing complete. It is actually complete. Should we have one go at a mayhem level and see what mayhem's like? So this is level 1 of mayhem. I don't know how hard it's going to get now. Eight minutes. Let's have a quick look. Right, so we are mayhem now. So we've done taxing and now it just gets on. What is going on here? Oh my god. Oh my god. Straight off the bat and it's like... Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. I've got blockers here, haven't I? Oh, they're going to die when they fall down here as well. definitely mayhem. Let's put it that way. Come on, don't die. Oh, I've got no climbers. I was going to climb over there. I can't. Oh dear. Right, this is hard. Well, it's mayhem.
Oh no!
It's mayhem. We can go. Oh no! Now, yeah, we can. Oh no. Let's see if I can do. I'm not even sure if I probably have done some mayhem levels back in the day. I don't know. But yeah, this is mayhem. It's lots of steel. Not even sure what I've got to do here. I've got to... Oh my god, look at this! What the devil? How the hell am I going to do this? It's like... The lemmings are just dying, though, as they're coming out. So... I don't know. I suppose we've got to get them down here, have we? And don't fall in that. Oh my word. OMG. OMG. That's all I can say. Oh yeah, and I can't climb. Well, you're gonna have to build your bridges on the way out of there. I don't really know. Let's put a floater in there. There's another one. I mean, what is happening here? Probably should have done this. I think. Is that enough to stop them dying there? Yeah, it is. You don't have to build much of a bridge. Oops, missed that guy. This is difficult though, because now I need to build a bridge going back, but I can't. I love the way they give you 8 minutes for this. This is crazy. I see people Amiga users have customized the Amiga cases to... Hang on. Customize the Amiga cases to blue and disc lights to different colours. Yep. People go crazy. There's people making modern case replacements, isn't there? Alright, I don't think they survived that fall, so they need a thing to do there. Oh, I've built that in the wrong place, haven't I? Whoops. Hi Dave, how long have you been streaming for? I've done... how long have I... Since about 9 o'clock. I've finished off taxing on Lemmings, that's what I've done. 27, 28, 29 and 30. This is the first level on Mayhem, which is going to be crazy. Right, okay. Once we go over here though, this is all going to go wrong. It's all going wrong. Better make sure I build the bridge over there. Here we go. What happens now? These guys are going to die. Oh, he's in that hole. That's it, he's stuck in there. What do I do with this guy? It's like, he's just going to die. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Is there a trap up there as well or something? I tell you what, by the time I've built up here, is it going to be too high for them to fall? He's got to get to there. Oh no, if he builds all the way up to there and he stops, that's it, we're done. Right, is he going to survive the fall? Oh, he's a floater though, so... Oh, this is horrific. I probably should have built that. Or maybe built here. I don't know. So it's 10 o'clock Danish perspective. Okay. There's a lot of Danish perspectives. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. GMT +1. Look at this. This lemming's going. He's going up. He's going up. This is horrific though. I've got 3 minutes left. How long is it going to take them to get up here? Whoops. Well, I've got 7 bridges left to do this. What do you reckon? I just wasted one there. Alright, let's let him go back this time. There we go. It's 10:50 in the UK now. This is the Pugsy in space music from the demo. Oh! From the demo that spawned the game, alright. I don't know about that. What I do know is 5 bridges is not going to be enough for me to finish if I mess this up. Look, it's already pretty much... That is pretty messy there, isn't it? I'm going to waste all the bridges there. Oh, this is where it all goes wrong. Yeah, look at that. Damn it, I need like 2 bridges to get up there. Oh no. Oh, that's blown it. Yeah, because he just throws 1 brick and then he stops. Look, I'm going to do 1 bridge there. And that's not even enough. That's pretty bad. If I'd just built that there, it would have been alright. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's stuck in a wall now. Oh well. Oh, damn it. Well, it was a good try. Yeah, look at that.
Oh no!
And here they come. To the not finishing the level. Yeah, that's not going to work. You said it. You said it. Maybe we should play a different game. We've done a lot of Lemmings. I've done through taxing now. Maybe we should save these mayhem levels for doing these every now and again, and as like a surprise. Surprise! We'll do a mayhem level. But this is this one looks possible. Oh, assuming they don't die here, they might die here now. Watch. Nope, they're all right. They made that. If I just hadn't messed that up there, that bridge needed to... See where I built that bridge there? Wrong. If I'd built that up there, that would have gone there. That would have done that. That would have worked. And now they're all stuck.
Oh no!
See, they're going to get really long in these levels now, aren't they? Like 8 minutes to do a level. But mayhem's not impossible. It's just difficult. The fact that they're starting levels now with them dying, but they did that on the other one, didn't they? The Dome made the Amiga port of Pugsy, Traveller's Tale, the Mega Drive version. The Dome also made Bob's Bad Day, so all is forgiven. Great game. I did not copy that from Wikipedia. Well, that's copied from your memory. Is it copied from your brain? Shall we have one more go at this? You can only lose 10 lemmings. I don't know. Just wondering if we're going to spend a lot of our time. How did I even do this start again? No. I let a few go. How many did I let go? I probably need to let 2 go down there, don't I? Let's let 2 of them go. You go down there. You go down there. A 3rd one that's not going to die. What do we do now? We're going to put the blocker in. Whoops, he died. Is that going to be enough? Oh, hopefully that's enough. It is just about enough to stop him dying. Right, and now what do we do? Let's build from here. Can't believe I'm attempting the mayhem level again. Wonder if that'll build all the way up to there from there. Don't know. We'll see. My brain is full of useless information. That's good to know. Facts, no wiki. Wiki's full of facts. I remember because I had the music. All right. Pugsy came out. What? Pugsy came to Earth and had a rotten day, so went back up to spaceship and nuked the Earth. Fun little demo. Right, that's not really helped me out there, has it? There's a lot of bridge building going on here. Gotta remember to build the bridge over there, otherwise we dead. We gonna die. Oh no, these lemmings are gonna end up in the same place. Don't die. This one is probably gonna die. Let's keep him alive. Just in case we need another lemming. I've wasted a bridge to keep him alive though. It probably wasn't a good idea. No, he's gonna die anyway. There you go. Now he's dead. Now he dead. Where should I build there? As soon as I can. There we go. Ooh, is that good? Don't know if that's good. Could be worse. Oh, I probably shouldn't have built that. I probably should build here. Let's do that. Let's build there. Because I'm going to hit my head on that bit. Oh, I might have messed this up. Maybe not. Let's find out. How's that doing? That doesn't look too bad. I've got 7 bridges left. So he's got to build as soon as he turns back. There we go. Oh, is another bridge gone? Oh, this level might be slightly evil. I'm going to run out of bridges again, aren't I? I wasted 2 down here. I wasted that one and wasted 1 there. Oh, he's not quite making it. Damn it. Absolutely damn it. I've ended up back in the same place I ended up before. Oh, this level is slightly evil. It's probably about... Oh, actually... Is he even going to make that bit? Yeah, I've basically done exactly what I did before. But I wasted a bridge there. I wasted a bridge there. I didn't need to. What else did I do? I don't know if you can do that bit any better. You have to use 2 bridges there anyway, so you might as well build up there like that. And then maybe you can build all the way across there. That's maybe the way to do it. 1, 2, and then just build all the way up there. That might work. You gotta have 1 there. I've seen some of your videos and I looked at the videos you took out the kick ROMs. You say they were hard to get out. Yeah, they were. They were really stuck in there, but they had been jammed in there for 30 years. You have to really... I think in the end I had to get a screwdriver underneath the ROM to just pry it up. But you have to be careful when you're doing that, because if you pry it up onto the motherboard, you just stick a hole right through your motherboard. So you've got to kind of get it on the socket and twist it a bit. Just make sure you're not pushing on the motherboard, because you will damage it. A lot of the Lemmings music graphics is from other Psygnosis titles. Yeah, they've got the Awesome level, they've got the Shadow of the Beast level, and they've got the Menace level. It's pretty good. Oh, is Blood Money in there as well? I didn't know that. Oh. Have you played Star Trek 25th Anniversary on Amiga 1200? No. I think I played that on PC. Oh yeah, Shadow of the Beast, IK Plus, 7 Bridges Little Time. Wing Commander on Amiga was good. Wing Commander on Amiga, or on PC actually, Wing Commander 1 has just been shown on Computer Chronicles I watched. I say just been shown like 30 years ago. Let's nuke these guys. Let's try again. I think the trick is a couple of bridges up there and then building from... You've got to build from there. Whoa, guys. Let's give this Mayhem level a chance. Why not? Could be wrong about Blood Money, but definitely Menace. Yeah, we've played the Menace one. We've played the Shadow of the Beast one. And we've played the Awesome level. I don't remember a Blood Money level. There might have been. Blood Money didn't come out after this, did it? Can't remember now. Got Star Trek 5 on PC. It was going to be on the Amiga, but it was cancelled. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right. Let's go. Just wondering, do I need 2 Lemmings down here? Or do I just need 1? Is there any point to having 2 Lemmings? No. No is the answer. Uh-oh. Whoops, did that wrong. Right. No point in having lots of Lemmings. Where should I build the bridge? It's got to get to there. So about here. There we go. This might even work. You never know. And I think I've got to start building back from there, and that'll get me right up to that bit. I've left it a bit fine, haven't I? Whoops. Wasted a bridge. Damn it. These bridges are precious on this level. That's the trouble with these this Mayhem level in particular. It's just a lot of level. But maybe that's the whole point of them. See, you could have got in there. Oh no, you've still got to get the bridge over that bit. Looks like I got the bridge in the right place. Oh, it's not quite enough. Damn it. Is he going to make this one? Yeah, he's making that one. So I wonder what the best, once I get down here, what's the best thing for bridges on this one? Got to build down there. I think I did it right before. I've got to build like about here maybe. Where's it going to be? It's about there. So I want to start building there, definitely. That's what I think. Here. There we go. Ooh, this is crazy, this level. I remember reading the Menace game program tutorials by Dave Jones of DMA. Yeah, I do as well. I remember those. They were really good. That was one of the things that got me into Amiga programming. I was like, this is great. You can actually program this thing. And they were releasing the source code for it as well. I was like, this is amazing. I mean, Blood Money was out by that time, I think, but I thought that was really cool. I might even do a video on that, actually. I might do a video on that tutorial and just like going through it. It's quite cool. Wing Commander on the A500 wasn't great. Slow as a snail. On the A1200 it was way better. There you go. Stuff's better on the A1200. I was slagging it off at the start of the stream, but it's wrong. I'm going to sneeze, but I'm not going to sneeze. Excuse me. That's what I meant. 1200 was better. There you go. It was better for that game anyway. I think if you had a 3D game or something like that, it was going to be better, wasn't it? Let's face it. Because it was just faster. Faster is better. Right, he's okay there. He's alright. More useless facts. Wing Commander Amiga port was coded by BBC Micro legend Orlando M. Pilchard. What? That sounds made up. Or is that... That just sounds crazy. BBC Micro legend though. There you go. Anyone remembers Frack? Oh, is that who wrote Frack? Yes, I remember Frack because I used to go at the end of school... at high school, used to go and play on the BBC in the science department, and it had Frack. That was the game they had. They had Frack on the BBC. It was pretty good on the BBC actually. It was. I saw an Amiga, a Commodore 64 port of it like years later on. I looked at it on YouTube. I was like, this doesn't look very good. But yeah, I remember Frack. So the guy who wrote Frack on the BBC was the guy who wrote Wing Commander on the Amiga, or did the Amiga port. It's just bonkers, isn't it? Frack. Oh, what a crazy game. Like with the balloons and stuff. What a crazy game. Right, I've got to get the bridge planning right here, because I'm going to get to about here, and then I'm going to go up there. Maybe I'll just get to that bit. I don't know. It involves some critical bridge placement. Wasted a bridge there. Let's get him so he builds the bridge in just the right place. There we go. Can't do any better than that. I think they're making me build... Oh, do you know what they've done? That doesn't quite reach, does it? That's what I shouldn't have been doing. So if I do this bit here, am I going to end up in the wrong... I'm going to end up like banging my head on the wall again. I think I've just done this. I don't know. Should I try it? Could maybe make it to there if I get it right. But even then, I don't think 5 bridges is going to do it. Oh no, what's going to happen here? Oh well, he built the bridge. So here we go, 4 bridges. I get 1, 2, and 1 to build back. And I've only got 2 minutes 36 left. So, should we start these guys coming? Oh, it's alright, they won't die anyway, will they? They won't die.
Oh no!
There's not going to be a trap up here, is there? It is mayhem, let's face it. Oh, I did it with a bridge to spare! Oh, are these guys going to die, though? That's the question here. They're alright. Has the OSSC removed the lag? Yes. Removed all the lag. It has. It's brilliant. I couldn't play this game without this. I remember when I had the original crappy one that I used and I clicked the Lemmings and I would miss them. No way you're going to do these levels with that. These terrible... This thing. There's no way you're going to get through these levels with one of these because it's too much lag. Too much. Like those clicks I was doing there with getting the Lemming in exactly the right place. You're not going to do that with those terrible upscalers. I can't get mine to work with the 25 quid upscaler. There's no such thing as useless info. Any info is useful if you didn't already know it. Is it though? Surely there must be some useless info. What about the fact that... What about the information that there is no useless information? Isn't that useless? Or is it? Do you think about that?
Oh no!
I think I've got 95%. Is that the exact amount that I needed as well? Chris Roberts, who invented Wing Commander, did the match of the day port of the BBC Micro. You are a BBC Micro Amiga nerd. Yep. It's a weird crossover, isn't it? The BBC Micro and Amiga. You think it'd be more of a Commodore 64 and Amiga or a Atari 8-bit and Amiga, but BBC Micro and Amiga, I suppose it was the next logical step. Oh, I only needed 90%. That was easy. Match day was on Spectrum and Commodore 64 and BBC Micro. Amstrad 2 by Chris Roberts of Star Citizen notoriety. There you go. Is that Star Citizen game even out yet? Or is it just still a beta or whatever? Didn't know it was on the BBC Micro. Oh, applause. Thank you. Thank you. I did a Mayhem level. I didn't plan on doing a Mayhem level this stream. I thought I was going to give up. But now I've done a Mayhem level as well. So I've done a single Mayhem level. That's not bad. Nice. Thank you. Had BBC Micros at school, thought they were crap. The BBC Micros were pretty amazing computers, to be honest, because they were built like a tank. That's one thing. They were built so kids wouldn't destroy them. And didn't they have space for like 4 ROM chips in there or something? Because I think when they designed them, they were like, well, people are going to put their ROM chips in and put embedded software in, but also you could put stuff in there that's going to like control like little machines and stuff like that because you're going to be learning to do them. I programmed my first ever computer program on a BBC Micro. Well, the 10, print your name and go to 10. That was the first ever program I wrote, which is most people's first program. Did it on a BBC Micro. And there you go. The rest is history. I think the BBC Micro is responsible for a lot of our computing industry in this country because of the introduction to computers. So I don't think you can take away anything from the BBC Micro, even if you thought it was crap. I think I thought it was a bit crap back in the day because, by the time it had got a bit old and the green screen and all that kind of thing. But ultimately, for the day it came out and its build quality and everything was pretty good. That keyboard was amazing. Let's face it. It was pretty amazing. Did not like them. There you go. But yeah, I don't have nostalgia for it because I didn't really have a BBC Micro. It was just my first experience of using computers was a BBC Micro because my dad was a school teacher and he brought the BBC Micro home and he showed me how to write the 10 go to whatever program. And then I just would use the program and I'd play frack after school and stuff like that. So definitely my first experience of computing was that. Once I got a Commodore 64 though, the BBC Micro did look terrible, but really it was a better built computer than the Commodore 64. Not in the sound department. But, the Commodore 64 was built down to a price, but the BBC Micro was not built down to a price. It was built to last. Built to last. You like the Spectrum, C64 and Amstrad. Well, didn't everybody? Chris Roberts was the executive producer of the Wing Commander movie. That was a crap movie. Yeah, I still find myself watching it. I didn't know there was a movie of it. I like Atari 800. There you go. Had an Auric 1. I don't know anything about the Auric 1. But yeah, the BBC Micro has a lot of I'm not going to say nostalgia. What is it? It's a lot of history associated with it. Acorn Electron was crap. What was crap about the Acorn Electron? Although I never had one. Was that just a cheap BBC Micro? Was that what that was? Was that the cost reduced BBC Micro? Anyway, if you hadn't played frack on the BBC Micro, you've not lived. I assuming the Electron was a cut down BBC Micro. What about the Acorn Archimedes? I think they did have an Archimedes at my school at one point, but I never really got to use it. I think they just had one tucked away in a cupboard somewhere. But that was basically, wasn't it about as on par with the Amiga, basically? I have a BBC Micro B in storage. Let's do something with it. What are you going to do? Hook it up to hook it up to a machine and get it to run it. Because didn't it had serial and parallel and everything on it, didn't it? And those 4 ROMs. Was it 4 ROM slots? Shall I have a quick look? I won't Wikipedia, but how many ROM slots did the BBC Micro have? I'm not asking Jeeves. I'm not asking ChatGPT. Maybe I should ask ChatGPT. Both the BBC Micro and the BBC Master, there are ROM sockets on the motherboard. 4 on the BBC Micro, which takes sideways ROMs. And the BBC Micro shipped with a single ROM containing BBC Basic. So yeah, had 4 ROM slots in it. That's bonkers. What other computer back in the day had 4 ROM slots where you could put your own stuff in it? The Tube. I wanted an Archimedes, but then I saw the Amiga. Thank God. Yeah, I think that's the thing. It was like, should I get an Archimedes or an Amiga? Get the Amiga, whatever. I really would want to buy a BBC Micro just to play Elite. What about a friend of mine? He had a BBC Micro. He was always saying about, he remembers playing JCB. Is it called JCB Simulator? That was another game, something on the BBC Micro. Let's have a quick look at Mayhem Level 2, but I don't think I'm going to play it. Not today, anyway. I think Mayhem might be something I keep dipping into. Let's try a Mayhem level. BBC Micro had a punch-out hole at the side of the keyboard where you could drop an EEPROM in. Oh, yes. I seem to remember somebody mentioning EEPROMs at school. I remember the BBC Micro was Elite in pole position. Yes, pole position. I remember playing pole position as well. Oh, no, it wasn't pole position. It was Revs. Do you remember playing Revs? That was pretty good. Yeah, I remember playing Revs and Frack. And somebody had written a game that I was pretty sure was called Little Brick Out. And I think it was just a basic game, but it was just an Arkanoid style game. But I feel like it was a basic game that somebody had written. So, yeah. Let's have a quick look at this. Let's have a quick look. Oh, there's fire. OMG. OMG. How's this going to work? Oh, they've given me 29 bridges. I think you've got to go up there, down here, through here, up like that, and across that way. Or, oh, you can't go across there because it's steel. Are these new levels for Mayhem? Yeah, these look like they're all kind of newish levels, like new backgrounds. Some of the ones in Taxing were repeated. I didn't even look how many I've got to save. Oh, I can't dig through. Hang on a minute though. I haven't got any diggers. But I've got bombers. Maybe you got to bomb your way up through there or something like that. This could be quite mayhem. This could be mayhem. Maybe you've got to go up there like that. What do you reckon? I didn't even look how many I've got to save. Assuming it's not all of them. I do have to go get a drink. It's like, it's nearly 11:30. I should be stopping. I shouldn't be playing any more Lemmings. I'm just like gone Lemmings crazy. Why am I doing mayhem levels? I told myself I wasn't going to do this. Oh no, he's gone back. Right, let's get all the lemmings stuck up at... Oh no, this is just... I don't know what I'm doing now. Let's go up here. Yeah, look at that. This guy's up here. I don't know. I feel like I've got to blow a hole through this top part. Like that.
Oh no!
Oh no, that's steel. It didn't blow up.
Oh no!
What? Nothing on that blew up? That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right at all. I feel like this should have exploded. Is that a glitch?
Oh no!
No, it's steel. I thought even the bridge didn't blow up. What? Something odd happening there. Have I found a Lemmings bug? Let's just put a random exploder in there and see what we get.
Oh no!
Oh, it did blow up. Okay, I don't know what's happening. But this might be another problem for another day. Anyway, I've done quite a few levels there, so it's level 2 of Mayhem if we ever come back to this. Oh, you said what about the pillar? Can you... This pillar here, you can't punch through that because it's... Well, I haven't got any punches. Or I haven't got any... Can't dig anything. And that's steel anyway. I suspect the way you've got to do is go down there. I think you've got to explode a lemming to get through that. Probably should have blocked the lemming up there or something. And explode through the top and then come through. Boom. Something like that. But that's not today's problem anymore. That's not today's problem. JCB Digger had headache-inducing scrolling. I don't really remember playing it. Big floppy 5.5-inch discs. 5.25, you mean? I remember Commodore computers with green screens at school. Oh, that'd be the PET. Commodore PET. Probably the PET anyway. 5.25-inch discs aren't really big, at least in comparison with 8-inch discs. Yeah, that's a good point. The 5.25-inch disc is a shrunk down, compacted 8-inch disc. It's exactly the same, except it's 5.25, not 8 inches. So those things are monsters, aren't they? I remember type-in game called Billy the Kid written... Oh, Billy the Kid? Written in BASIC in a very random way. You had to type You had to type your aim. If you missed, you got hit. The game said you were hitting pretty dead. I don't remember anything like that. I'm trying to think if was that a BBC game? A type-in game, is that? You had to be so careful with the 5 1/4 inch discs. Did you though? I don't think you had to be super careful with them. I mean, you had to put them back in the sleeve because the outside was exposed all the time. But other than that, I don't think they would. I suppose like the 3 1/2's got this plastic case on, but the 5 1/4's are pretty robust. Can you punch through the pillar? No. Right, I've answered that one. You can buy a lot of ADFs on hard drive of the 1200. You can put a lot on the hard drive of 1200? Probably. Oh, the pillar under the exit. Yes, that's what I was trying to do. Yep. You did good compared to last week. Last week's level was pretty hard, actually. I looked at another solution that somebody had done, and they were doing the thing that I was saying, that there was two bits in the corners. Let me get it on the camera. There was 2 bits, and I said if you build the bridges straight away, you'd be able to know which way they get. That's what they did, and they used diggers to dig down through the bridges to make holes so they could carry on digging. So I saw a solution that somebody did that was definitely easier than what I did. But I think my solution has not probably been seen on YouTube, and it was pretty random whether you get to work. I think that's the level I've had the worst time on. That Mayhem level wasn't as bad as that taxing level. Had loads of magazines, you could type the data in your computer. Yeah, remember Gorillas on QBasic? I don't remember that. Let me go grab a drink. I'll put before I go, let's put Hippo Play back on and get back to where we were in Hippo Play. In the acid jazz. If you missed the start, we were listening to acid jazz mods. Do you know what? I just went for the scroll wheel then on my mouse. I totally don't have one. I think the Amiga supports the scroll wheel, doesn't it? No, I'm not sure. I totally went to scroll it. Oh, don't want that. Hang on. We're on to damn motherfucker on this one. Well, it's got swearing in it. You're not allowed to swear in the first 5 seconds of your YouTube video, are you? Because otherwise it gets tagged as profanity or something. Right, let me grab a drink and I'll be back. gyroscope going. Oh, I've got to get rid of the tick as well. I'm buying NOS floppy disks as much as I can. They are disappearing. I don't know what that is. Citrix lemon funk. What? I don't know what this is. I missed the whole song. Is that any good? I don't know how people had enough patience to type in programs from magazines. I suppose because back in the day, that might have been your only way of getting a program. If you were like 12 and you didn't have any money and you had your computer and it didn't have any software and you had a magazine, you'd be like, I'll type that in. It was a good way of learning to program, I suppose, was it? I don't know. I suppose it was if you could understand what the program was doing and they didn't just give you loads of garbage to type in. I still have about 200 NOS 5 1/4 inch discs still sealed. They have suffered from disk rot over the years. Who knows? What's NOS? I don't know what this is. NOS. The soundtrack that you played was from the game Hybris, which is an awesome game. Oh. Really? I did not know. I think I downloaded the load from the Acid Jazz section on that mod archive, but there was one or two that weren't from that. Daley Thompson's Olympic Challenge was a great tune on Amiga. I used to type in game listings with my brother and sister, taking it in turns to read out the lines. Oh, new old stock. Okay, right. I thought it was like a brand NOS. Yeah, new old stock. Is there still new old stock floppy disks then? Is that a thing? It's funny as well because again, watching the Computer Chronicles, there was a bit where they were talking about, they showed a factory that was manufacturing floppy disks. I think that was on that. And they were saying that, you know, at that point there was more floppy disks than there were people on the planet, and they were creating a lot of waste and stuff like that. It's like, where are all those floppy disks now? There's like millions of them out there. I don't remember hearing the Hybris music, but it's a classic. Well, there you go. I've never heard of the game. Most samples from Jamiroquai CD, really, on this one. Oh. Yeah, that drum loop is from Emergency on Planet Earth. Not I don't know which song, but it's definitely from that album. This one song that starts with the drums, that is the drum track from it. There, they've ripped it off. There was a few games with digital speech. Well, on the Amiga. Never heard of Hybris. I haven't. Let me look it up. What have I missed? I've just never heard of it. Let's have a look. You're going to show me a 4K long play on YouTube? Really? Hybris. I have never seen this. I've never seen the box. It's completely... It's a shoot 'em up, is it? No, that's completely passed me by, that one. Hybris. Oh, someone's got a picture of it next to Battle Squadron. Is it related to Battle Squadron? I remember that. Is it related to Battle Squadron? Call yourself an Amiga. Well, I don't really. I didn't really, looking back on it, didn't really have that many games to the Amiga or play a huge amount. I think I played a lot more on the Commodore 64. Oh, Hydra is the predecessor of Battle Squadron, which is also a classic, right? Commodore 64 had digital speech. Well, barely. It exploited an undefined behaviour in the SID chip, which got digital speech, but wouldn't really say that it had it. I don't think anybody intended it to do it when it did it. It was the game before Battle Squadron, right? I don't think I really played Battle Squadron, right? I remember you used to run it in the computer store and they had it running in the window on a Mega Drive, I think, or something. That wasn't just an Amiga game, was it? Don't try this at home. There's some crazy songs in here. Yeah, looking back on all the Amiga games, I probably didn't play a lot of them. I don't even know if I played Lemmings. I mean, I've definitely played Lemmings, and I definitely played it back in the day, but I don't even know if I played it that much, or if I just had, like, the Xmas disc. Definitely played it in the computer store. But I don't have a memory of playing it at home on the Amiga. But I might have done. The only games I can remember playing now are Monkey Island. I remember playing Monkey Island at some point. I remember playing Cannon Fodder. And I remember playing Swiv. Oh, this sounds horrible. But those are the only ones I remember actually, being there and playing at the computer. I don't know. I must have played other ones, obviously, but I just can't remember playing them, if you know what I mean. It's just too long ago. I spent way too much time playing Battle Squadron using the mouse to control my ship. Didn't get on with Hybris, but it had the better tile music. Okay. Played Operation Wolf. I remember playing Operation Wolf on the arcade. I don't think I've ever played it on the home console, home computer, because it was really an arcade game for me, that one. It didn't have it natively. It was a bug exploited in the SID chip that made it produce semi-samples. Yeah, it was basically turning registers on and off, and it made a click at a certain frequency, and they realised they could do that to make samples. But some titles just used that to make the music. They didn't necessarily use speech or anything. But you couldn't really do it while the game was playing because you just suck up all the processing power to do it. I never played Lemmings. My Amiga years were 91 to 94. Then my brother bought a PC. Oh, this sounds really horrible, this one. We're going to suffer it. We've only got 6 seconds left of it. Yeah, it's weird, the Amiga, isn't it? Because it was like the Commodore 64 spent a lot longer with that, and then the Amiga years were good, but I think the PC took over from it a bit, really. I mean, I probably played Monkey Island 1 and 2 on there, actually. I definitely had other games as well, but I just don't remember playing them as much. I remember like using the Amiga a lot more, like more than the Commodore 64 in terms of like doing programming on it and stuff like that. And doing Deluxe Paint. I remember doing some like drawing things in Deluxe Paint. But yeah, I probably spent more time actually like using it as a computer than I did as playing games, I think. Like I never finished Cannon Fodder back in the day. I remember playing it. I remember getting to that level with where you had to jump the Jeep and screwing up. But I've come back all these years later and finished these games off. Ocean done that license from Taito. Oh, Operation Wolf. Yep. MVG made a good video recently about SID bug that enables speech. Yep. It is a pretty crazy bug. I mean, that's the other thing as well. And when they brought out the cost-reduced Commodore 64, the bug went away. And then you could actually like mod it and put a capacitor back on the SID chip that would bring the bug back. It's very weird. I think mine were 88 to 96, yeah. It's a funny thing because I think the computer eras for me, they crossed over. There was definitely a time when I used to have the Commodore 64 and the Amiga sitting next to each other and they were both plugged in and both being used. But it got to the point where the Commodore 64 got used less. And I imagine I did the same thing with the Amiga, but I can't remember now. I probably used to have the Amiga and then got a PC and the Amiga was like still being used a little bit, but then eventually it just got put in a box and that was it. Speedball 2, yep. I was also a massive pirate. I do own a box copy of Battle Squadron though, there you go. I'm just curious, what programming languages you used when you wrote programs on the Amiga? It was just 68,000 assembler. Is that technically a programming language? Is machine language or assembly language? Is that a language? I suppose it is. It's barely a language, let's face it, because it's just basically telling the computer exactly what to do, isn't it? Yeah, I think on the Amiga, I think it was those Dave Jones tutorials that really... was it? It wasn't called Davy Jones's Locker or something, was it? I can't remember now. I've got all the Amiga format issues, I should look them up. But yeah, they kind of got me going on the Amiga because I really didn't know what to do. And I didn't have enough money to buy all the books that there was probably a book on how to program the Amiga or something, but I couldn't get that. So I just got those, and they were quite good because they basically told you how to get the code booted up, like get the Amiga booted up so you can shut down the kickstart and shut down the OS and everything, and get it going. And that was kind of like a bit of an arcane knowledge because you'd have to have the Amiga programming manual or whatever to know that, and I didn't have that. After Amiga went straight to console. There you go. Skip out the PC, go straight to console. PC only became interesting after Windows 95. Yeah, I hated I've got to say, I hated Windows 3. I thought it was rubbish. I mean, I could see why after watching Computer Chronicles now. I'm up to 1992, and you can see that Windows 3.1 is nailing it because, like, basically, at the end of the day, DOS is basically rubbish, isn't it? And, you know, the Mac had come out and got all this, like, graphical user interface. And the PC was just really in the dark ages at that point with DOS stuff. And Windows 3 kind of did bring it into the new age, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think Windows 3 was basically a bit rubbish, and Windows 95 did kind of like bring it up to standard. Oh, this is the Starsky and Hutch tune. So yeah, Windows 95 brought it into the new age, and once they slapped DirectX in it, that was it. There was no need to use DOS anymore to play games because Windows 95 could do it. So it was all game over for Windows 3 and DOS at that point, even though they were still there a little bit. That was the other weird thing about the BBC at school as well. The BBC computer was there, and eventually it was the BBC, and it became a 286 PC with Windows 3 on it. I just hated using Windows 3 on that because at least the BBC had revs and frac, and then the 286 was just slow and rubbish with Windows 3 and just rubbish. It was just really slow. Hated it. I hated if I wanted to hate a computer, it was that 286, let's face it. I mean, very functional for business use, but very boring computer. Very boring. Beige box, 286. Slowest thing you've ever used. Not fast enough to play any decent video games. And not cool enough to do anything really cool. Unless you were making Word docs on Windows 3, whatever. But I've got a lot of respect for Windows 3 now because it was, you know, a more respect than I had back in the day. Because it did bring the PC into the modern age, which it hadn't been for DOS. I mean, when the Mac was sitting there in 1984 with all its fancy user interface, and the PC was still on DOS, and it was just no comparison at that point. During Tal Maniac's Noise was master on semi-sampled on C64. Put on the game Savage on C64 Boss. Yeah, that's the guy I was thinking actually. I think it was Joran Tell who did it's the Afterburner tune on the C64, and that's it's not using digitized speech, but it's using that fourth channel of the digitized sound to get the title tune on it. It's really good. I used Amos and Blitz Basic 2. I might have had a go at Amos at one point, and maybe Blitz Basic. I can't remember. And I definitely had a go at some Amiga. I did do some Amiga Basic at one point because I do remember getting a sprite on the screen, get to move, but I don't remember anything about Amiga Basic at all. I don't even know how you get it on these computers anymore because it doesn't exist anymore, does it? At least not with. You don't get it with 3.2 anymore, do you? Did you used to get it with 1.3 or something? It was Davy Jones's Locker. Yeah. For me, the Amiga was the holy grail and still is. But I still want a sharp 68,000. X68,000, yeah. Yeah, well, the Amiga was great. I just liked the Amiga because it was a gaming computer, but you could do loads of other stuff as well that was really cool and really cool for its day. Like, if you just wanted gaming, the Mega Drive was definitely better. But was it cheaper? Well, the console was, but the games weren't. And what happens if you wanted to do, Deluxe Paint? You couldn't do that on a Mega Drive. It would have been really nice if the Amiga had been as good as the Mega Drive, but with all this other stuff, and still as cheap. But it was pretty cool. It still is. You can get the emulator for the shops, 68,000, yeah. Castlevania on 68,000. Good Castlevania. I love the hardware. Yes, it's good. I use DOSBox now for old PC games. I think a lot of old PC games, when you buy them on Steam, that are DOS games, do run in DOSBox, don't they? I think when you buy Quake on Steam, it runs in DOSBox or something. My first job, I had to use Windows 3.1 and the rubbish PC version of Deluxe Paint. It was worse. Oh yeah, I saw that on Computer Chronicles that Deluxe Paint was on the PC, and I didn't even know that happened. I thought it was Amiga only. Amiga Basic was made by Microsoft. I bet every Basic was made by Microsoft, wasn't it? Pretty much. Commodore 64 Basic is made by Microsoft. I'm not even sure if... Was BBC Basic the only one that wasn't? I thought they all just licensed it from Microsoft. I made a rude sliding puzzle game in Amiga Basic. 286 and Windows 3.0 is a really slow combo. 386 pretty much needed to work with some usable speed. Yes, I can vouch for that, because that 286 was a dog. It was an absolute dog. I remember booting a game up on it once just to see what it could do, and it was terrible. I can't remember the game. It was a 2D platformer. Awful. But everything on it was slow. You know, you started like you wanted to launch Word. Even if you want to do the things that it was being designed for, it would just take like a week to launch Word. It was awful. You're coming from a computer like the Amiga where you just like hit buttons and things just work. Going to that thing and it was just like, oh my god, awful computer. It was just some. It wasn't an IBM PC. It was just a 286 clone PC. But yeah, it was just too slow for Windows 3. I will concur. I use PCM for older games, emulates anything you can think of. I don't think there's a lot of older PC games that I want to play. The only one I'd want to play would be Doom, but you can play that in Windows now, so you don't need to emulate anything like that. I think Doom was the nail in the coffin when I saw Doom running on a PC. Or it might have been Quake or Doom, I can't remember which, but we played Doom and I was like, that's it. It wasn't like, that's it, the Amiga's going in the bin. I never threw mine away, but it was like, once you saw that, you were like, I've got to get a PC. That was it. But that was probably in the days later on, well after 286 and 386. The PC Deluxe Paint, you could only create a brush the size of a postage stamp. Something to do with page memory. Yeah, that's the other problem, isn't it? The x86 architecture was garbage back in the day. It's all right now, but back in the day, it was all that page memory crud. Oh, it was awful. Yeah, so the x86 architecture wasn't as good as the 68,000 architecture. I didn't think so anyway. So nowadays it's changed. Nowadays it's more like what it should be, where you just ask for memory and you just, talk to memory rather than going, is it in page 6? Oh, let's rebank the memory out. That's an awful way of working. Have you used AMIG kits? Don't know what that is. Doom came first. Then what? Wolfenstein came out. I think you mean Wolfenstein then Doom. I think I saw Doom before I saw Wolfenstein. So when I saw Wolfenstein, I was like, this is not very good. I mean, obviously back in the day it was great, but not for me. Not if you'd seen Doom, you didn't want to play Wolfenstein. You'd play Doom. Doom. The thing about Doom is it's still fun now. When you play it, it's like still fun. So it shows how good a game it was. Yeah, I think Wolfenstein was first. I think they did a game called... Oh, they did like a tank game or something first, 3D one. Then they did Wolfenstein, then they did Doom. And then that was it. No facts. Yeah, you can't quote from Wikipedia. You just have to quote incorrect facts. But you got it did do those two games, just not in that order. I think there is somewhere on the internet, there is a letter or an email from Microsoft to ID Software. They wanted to buy Wolfenstein and ship it with Windows 3, I think. So there you go. There's a fun fact that I didn't get from Wikipedia. I definitely read that on the internet. They wanted to ship Wolfenstein with Windows 3. Can you believe it? Catacomb. That's the one. Doom VR scary. Are you saying Doom VR scary or Doom very scary? Doom was very scary. I still think, though, I know it's a modern game, but the Doom and Doom Eternal are actually pretty good as well. I do like those games. They're like a proper modern incarnation of the old Doom. It was a Wolfenstein engine in EGA. Is EGA like 4 colours or something? That's the other thing, like, at that point in time, the PC's got like 4 or 16 colour graphics or whatever, and the Amiga's nailing it out of the park. Well, a lot of games probably were 16 colour, but you know what I mean. Throwing it out of the park. Hover Tank 3D. Well, at the time Lemmings was being made, that's when id Software were forming, wasn't it? So, you know, somebody there in Scotland's making Lemmings, and id Software are like, let's get together and make some games and make Commander Keen or whatever they did. Super VGA was best, then 3D Effects came. Yeah, that's it. Super VGA and then 3D Effects. It's all over. It's all over for the Amiga. It was a funny time. Computers were advancing so fast because I've watched like 1982 to 1992 of Computer Chronicles now. It just makes you realise. I know I'm watching them like going past, time's going quicker because I'm just watching a 28-minute episode and like the years are going by in there. But computers were moving on so fast. Even they say it on the show sometimes, like, oh, it's only like 5 years ago you were telling us about like the 286, and now we've got the 486, and they've even just mentioned the Pentium on the 1992 episode. So they've gone from the 8088 to the Pentium in 10 years. It's crazy. Matrox in the middle of those, and in fact they just mentioned Matrox on the last episode I watched. But Matrox weren't making graphics cards; they were making something else. They were at the Comdex show. They were showing off some like $15,000 suite of hardware and software that they got. I think it was for doing video editing. So something you can do on a PC nowadays with just a modern PC, but they were selling basically what was the equivalent of a video editing suite for $15,000, which was expensive but cheap compared to what you'd have to use back in 1992. Enhanced graphics array. Doesn't sound very enhanced, does it, when it's got 16 colours? Matrox had Accelerated Tomb Raider and Destruction Derby and Scorched Earth. I just remember Colin McRae Rally. I think that was on the Matrox something. Matrox Mystique made that better. Did it just do 2D, the Matrox? I can't remember now. It wasn't a 3D thing, was it? We always end up talking about PCs at the end of the stream now. So it naturally evolves into PCs, the Amiga. EGA has its charm. Played a lot of Sierra Adventures, yeah. Hard-coded. Oh yeah, hard-coded 16 colours, that's right. It was 16 colours, but you couldn't pick them. Ugh. I mean, that's like the Commodore 64, isn't it? That's what that had. That's 16 hard-coded colours. Rubbish. Sierra Games, yep. I don't even know, I'm not sure I know what Scorched Earth is. Then FMV games come out. Let's Shoot Larry 1-3. Sierra Online was actually Sierra Online though, wasn't it? They were actually like, you could go online and play games or something, wasn't it? Did they do the Star Trek game online and stuff? It's also funny as well what they talk about online. Like nowadays when you say online, you're talking about getting online, you'd be talking about getting on the internet, wouldn't you? In all these shows before, well, up to 1992 now, there was no internet yet. Even in 1992, it's not been mentioned. They talk a lot about online help. So they go, oh, this has got online help, this program. But what they mean by online is that there's just help built into the program, as in you don't have to open a manual. So online, I think the word online changed. Well, listen to this one again. This was all right. Oh, this is the Hybris. Is this the one you said before? Hybris refurbished. This definitely wasn't acid jazz. I think this was in the just recently uploaded category. Interplay with Star Trek. Have you seen LucasArts' early online games? No. So this is the tune from the game we were talking about before. They had an online game using the Maniac Mansion engine way ahead of its time. Really? Hybris, okay. Well, the tune's good. It's a good tune. Refurbished 27th of 5th, 23. Someone's redone it, so maybe this isn't the original. Lots of square waves going on in the Hippo player. I don't know, I really like old FMV games. They're cheesy but funny and weird. Oh, I think the original composer died last year. Is that what this RIP thing is here? Original compo by Paul van der Valk. RIP man. Oh yeah, maybe he did. Tex Murphy's series is fun at least. I think, yeah, they had some FMV stuff on Computer Chronicles. It's really funny because the introduction of CD-ROM's a big deal because I suppose you got to realise that back in those days there wasn't any internet at that point, and anything you could get online would have been very slow. Like nowadays, a CD-ROM is slower than the internet that you've got, isn't it? But back then there was no internet, so a CD-ROM not only was it massive, and they even said it was a bit slow. You could get a lot of stuff on there, so they were all coming out with these games to try and, you know, get stuff on it. And everybody had got like a little demo where they go, this is an educational program, and it's got like just some terrible sample speech on it and stuff like that. And then there was a few games with like video intros and stuff like that. But really, people were desperately trying to find ways to use the CD-ROM. I don't think anybody even knew what they were going to do with it at the start. It's like, we've got this terrible little PC, and here's 600 megabytes of data. What are we going to do with that? Let's make an encyclopedia. That was the first idea. I think they showed Wing Commander actually. Was one of the games running off CD, but it wasn't the one with the full motion video. It was just like cartoon style intros. The Hybris soundtrack, nice. I love this game. Yeah, well, I didn't know anything about it. The rest is going to be the acid jazz stuff. This one doesn't sound very good though. Sorry, that one's not very good. Does this one get going? This one's a bit weird as well. Battle Squadron High Score Music is one of my favourites. Is it? I wonder if I can get it now. I wonder if it's on Mod Archive. Let's search for Battle Squadron. There's something called Battle SQ. I don't know if that's going to be it. There's no way of knowing. Oh, it does say original from the marvelous Amiga shoot 'em up Battle Squadron with a custom player. I don't think this is the high score music though. Well, let's download that. Right, I am gonna take the compact flash out of the Amiga. It sometimes blows the Amiga up. I can tell you that. Let's go for the next one. This one's not very exciting. This is it. This is me sneaking atting stuff with this thing. Compact flash. Alright, let's sneak and at this over to the Amiga. Bit of the old sneaker net. Right, I can't see the chat for a second while I'm sneaking net. Doing the sneaker net. You can get networks working on Amiga, can't you? Somehow. It's one of these XM mods though, so I don't know how well it's going to play. Right, let's see if the sneaker net works. This does sometimes crash the Amiga when you plug this compact flash in, I think. There you go, it's back. Hot swapped. I totally hot swapped that. Let's copy this over. Where is it? Oh, is that not updated? How do you refresh this? Get? There we go. Where's it gone? Oh, wait a minute. Does XM not play? Oh, it does. Oh, no, hang on. Oh, it's right at the top. What am I doing? Let's add that. Right, here we go. This probably isn't going to work very well. Oh, it's going to crash it. Oh, it's 8 channel. It might not be that bad. Let's see if I can boost the volume on it. Hang on. Is it on here? Oh, God. It's loud. Is that alright? Oh, let's have it loud. What the hell? That's not too loud, is it? Is this it? It's the title music. That's the only one they had on that mod archive. I don't know if it counts as an example CD-ROM. System Shock 1. Audio logs add to the atmosphere. Ah. Showdown game is great from 1994. The new remake of System Shock looks good. Playing it now because remake came out and want to fix the original. High School Music is better, very chilled. Still a good tune. Yeah, this is the one they had. We've got it. We've got some Battle Squadron. It's funny, it looks like it's playing on 2 channels, but that's just because it's just doing... I think it's just doing software mixing, isn't it? Which is probably why it can get away without using any chip RAM. It just mixes a little bit and feeds that to the chip. They're never quite as good, these like 8-channel fast tracker and things like that. Just the sound quality is a bit poor. You can boost it in here, but the mixing rate... But I don't think it really sounds any better. Unless that's not the right setting for that. Well, after Battle Squadron is over, quit the stream because it's Betty Bob's time. It's the witching hour in the UK. This is the soundtrack of Battle Squadron, which is ultimate. I was hoping to use software mixer for my next game. Music on 3 channels. Software mix samples on the 4th channel. Yeah, that's what. That's exactly what the Turrican music does, though, isn't it? Well, it does it with the music, though. It does normal samples on 3 channels, and it mixes 4 channels onto 1 to get 7, basically. I can't remember what that name of that mod player is that does the 7 channels. But that AGA version of Turrican 2, I think it's basically using that because none of the sound effects cut out anymore on that version because they're mixing in the hardware. No, it's, yeah, mixing on the CPU, sorry. Why are Amigas coming back in a big way? I think it's because the people who owned them are now older and want to get back into the things they had when they were a kid, and they've got enough money to buy them on eBay. There you go. And we're not dead yet. We're old enough to have the money to remember that. We're old enough to remember them and old enough to have the money to buy them again, and we're not too old that we're dead. There you go. In about 30 years' time, no one will remember the Amiga. So there you go. These kind of live streams will not be going on in the future. We'll be live streaming whatever was 30 years, whatever was around about, let's think. Whatever's around about now is what people will be retroing then. And it'll be like, hey, I'm going to stream the Xbox 360. Well, really? Would they do that? I don't know. Are you thinking of Octamed? No, it's some other... it's some other one that's used in Turrican. It wasn't Octamed though. It was like TMFX or something. It's something like that. But that's what was... I don't know if that was one specifically done for Turrican or something. THFMX. That could be it. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically... Octamed's like 8 channel, isn't it? But that TFMX is 7 channel. And the reason why... Anyway, the reason why Chris Hulsbeck said he thought it was good is because you got 3 high quality channels that are done like normal, and then 1 channel where you put all the mixed stuff, because the mixed stuff doesn't sound as good, like I was saying about that Battle Squadron. So basically you get away with it by putting the lower quality stuff that you can get away with on the mixed one, and the higher quality stuff goes in the other channels. Oh, so that's Chris Hulsbeck's own player. Okay. Maybe the mod player's out for that. Somewhere. Because I think it got ported to PC as well or something, I don't know. He made one of the first trackers on the C64. See, this is info without Wikipedia. Yeah, I think he did. I think he made the first tracker, didn't he, on the C64? Yeah, I think he did. It's a funny day to be like back in those days to be a musician, because you had to be a musician, but you had to just basically learn how to program, which is what he did. He was like, right, I'll have to program the computer because it can't do anything unless I program it. But there's less programming now, more music, I think. We went back from Battle Squadron back to Hybris again. Anyway, he said the 7 channels was good because of the still having 3 high quality channels where the mixing hasn't destroyed the sound. Right, I think that's it for the stream. I think we are done. What is Mutant Intro? Where's that? This one. We had probably had this one on earlier, but I've forgotten it. It sounds quite good. Pro Tracker. Yes, these streams will be continuing. Old computers will still continue with the new generation. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think in 30 years' time, people will be streaming Xbox 360 going, look how cool it is. It's got a DVD drive. The sounds of the panpipes. Yeah. Right. We are going to call it a day there. We'll come back next week and do... I'll probably do a different game next week. I might continue with Mayhem, but I'll probably just dip in and play a level of Mayhem here and there and try and get through it slowly. Might do some other games or something else. Find some new games to play. We did talk about doing... trying Trivial Pursuit on the Amiga. That'd be fun. I'm gonna get an Amiga copy of Trivial Pursuit from somewhere, and we'll do Trivial Pursuit on the Amiga. Hopefully, it's got better sound than the Commodore 64 version, which was awful. But yeah, that'd be fun on the Amiga, or some other quiz game. That'd be good, like retro quiz game. Right, excellent. Thanks for tuning in, and it's time. Wait a minute. I'll try and get the button, the end stream button. It's time for Betty Bob's. I will catch you next time.